Hello everybody, it is I, your favorite VTuber Android Arrowhead, and I'm back with some more Zero Escape 999. So, remember from last time, we had to deal with some math puzzles. Also, Snake is, dead. Like, super duper dead. And, wait, hold on. Let's see, so we're right pretty much at the last possible choice before the end of the game. Or at least one of the endings. I think I heard somewhere that you don't literally need every ending to get to the true ending, but I do think... I don't even know if I'm on the right path right now, so... One way or another, we're doing something. Anyway, so last time we were in a room that was an engine room, we had to turn some gears, then we also had to, make a puzzle with boxes. Point is, now we're at E deck. I know it's only been like 2 weeks, but for some reason, Monster Hunter Wilds has drained my brain. This is my court-mandated break from Monster Hunter Wilds. Anyway.
Yes, and after that we passed through the cargo room.
And now we're back here.
In other words,
Basically, we all met up again.
Back where we started.
But now we're on the other side of the gate. Junpei approached the elevator.
We needed a card to get to this point.
I don't see a card reader here.
Okay. Audio's fine. Alright.
Perhaps we aren't able to activate it from this location.
We need to activate it from somewhere else and just, like, sprint to it.
Try pushing the button. Yeah.
Gently, he pushed the triangular button on the wall. Then he exploded. A moment passed. Oh, hey. Maybe the card's for something else, then.
It works.
Alright, yeah. The elevator door opened and eventually shut again. Also, here's a question for elevator people. When it says there's like a weight limit of like 180-something pounds, is it gonna work? I don't think it'll work exactly like perfectly at 179, right? Like 180 is like the upper limit, obviously, but it's not gonna be like functioning well if you get close to that limit, right? Granted, all elevators will have a higher weight limit than that. I'm just spitballing.
I think so.
The elevator door opened and then eventually shut again. Pushing the button had apparently restored power to the elevator.
Good. Now we can go back if we need to.
What do? Should we return to C deck?
No, this hallway keeps going. Even if we do end up going back, I think we should see what's down there first.
What if the elevator goes somewhere interesting? Their decision made, Junpei and his companions left the elevators behind and continued down the hallway. Sometime later...
Looks like it ends here.
Santa, who had been walking several paces in front of the rest, suddenly stopped.
Only one door.
Oh?
There isn't
I searched
anything
around
else.
just in
It's the
case.
only way to go.
It was the door or nothing.
All right, let's open it.
Junpei took a deep breath, readied himself, then grabbed the doorknob and pulled the door open. He paused for a moment, then stepped through into the room. And there he saw the number that had been hung over their heads since they'd woken up. 9.
The 9 door.
Like the numbers on every other door, this one, too, was a rough shape made of red paint. Its door was set into the back wall of the room. Oh no. Junpei leapt toward it with a sudden burst of hopeful energy. It was a large double door, heavy and full of solemn importance. I do kind of wonder where this is going to go if we're in, like, the last little bit here. Because I'm guessing the last little flow thing revolves around, like, who we go with through the end. But at the same time, I'm guessing whichever one this is leads to the true ending, because this is, like, the furthest one. So, honestly, who knows?
Of course it wouldn't be that easy.
The red sat on the wall next to the door. Displayed on it.
Vacant. Huh.
Well, it ought to
We
be.
finally found it.
Who else would have been here first? Junpei felt himself overwhelmed by a torrent of emotion. At last, they'd found the exit, but cold gripped his heart, and he knew all too well why. As he stood, frozen, unsure of what to think or feel.
Jumpy!
Huh?
Look! Behind you!
Huh? He spun around, and couldn't believe what he saw.
What? A 9-door.
Oh, there are
There's
two.
another one.
I'm guessing this was meant for, like, if all 9 people survived, they could meet up here and then all escape. But now, can we even do that?
Why?
Junpei's voice was barely audible, even to himself. Because now we're down by 2 people, both the Ninth Man and Snake. Let me think, math-wise, can we even do this? We need at least 3 people per thing. So we could go, me, Ace, and Santa, because that would equal 9. But then that also leaves, well, everybody else. The others would need to add up to 18. He stumbled toward the second door, as if somehow compelled. It was a small single door. It sat in the starboard corner of the room, on the same wall as the door they'd entered from, but in the opposite corner.
It's 9, no matter how you look at it. The red is there too. So this is a real one?
Pour it out for the real ones. Junpei shook the door handle pointlessly and muttered to himself.
Why the hell are there 2 doors?
I'm guessing this one is the one that actually leads to, like, the true ending, you know? It was Santa who answered.
There were always 2 doors. I mean, if you think about it, Zero never actually said there was only one door with a 9 on it.
Shit, that's actually true.
It is hidden.
Seek a
but
door
the
that
exit
carries a
can be
9.
found. Seek a way out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Right.
Of course, we just assumed that there was only one.
And we also assumed that which also means that maybe the people who killed Snake did it because they had to, like, they thought, like, oh, we have limited spots, but then they kind of doomed themselves.
After all, why would there be more than one?
Oh, man. We fell for it. There are 2 doors. That means that all 9 people who had met at the central staircase could escape. No one would be left behind.
Unless one of these is not an exit.
Now it makes sense why the bracelets are numbers. 1 through 9.
Exactly.
Divided into teams of 4 and 5 people. The digital root of both teams ends up being 9. Take 1, 2, 7, 8, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, for example. The digital root for both teams would be 9.
And yet...
Or 2, 3, 4, 9, and 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. The digital root is still 9.
It
There are
is.
a bunch of combinations that work, and they all end up the same way. If
But
one team
unfortunately,
is
that one guy
9,
fucked up.
So would the other one. What does that mean? The answer's simple. From the very beginning, the Nonary game was designed to save all 9 people.
Exactly, but now we have to beg the question, why were we put on this ship?
That's how it was meant to be.
This is kind of like Saw then, in the fact that, like, if you win the game and play by the rules, you survive, but no one really does.
He never said there'd be only one.
At least based on my very little knowledge of Saw.
But anyone who'd found themselves in the game would have assumed that was the case. Fights would have broken out. One team would likely betray or deceive the other. Someone might be hurt. Someone might get killed.
Well, someone did get killed, and another guy kind of just blew up
But eventually,
otherwise.
they'd reach this very same room and realize how pointless all their infighting was. There were 2 doors. There was no need to kill each other.
Yep. They'd understand and be appalled, overwhelmed with guilt at what they'd done.
This game was designed for that purpose. This Nonary game.
So because they didn't trust each other or the game, they...
Arguing and fighting over doors at the beginning. But if there had been one slip up, one tiny mistake that led to more, everything could have been so much worse now.
So I'm guessing one of the other earlier endings... Hey, Law Bitch, welcome to the stream, how you doing? I'm guessing one of the other earlier endings, like, I guess this one, could be what happens if you pick the wrong door and everyone dies, so that way you kind of just lose. Actually, based on this, there are if none of these are the true ending, which is entirely possible, I'm guessing there are like 6 total endings. If I had to just hazard a guess. Anyway.
So, what are we going to do, Junpei?
Well, I guess I'm just the de facto leader, sure. A voice broke through Junpei's frantic thoughts. Santa's voice. Just thought of this. Is your default outfit a train conductor? Basic suit? Okay, so basically, here's the funny thing. The suit with, like, the fluffy hood stuff, that's my actual, like, normal outfit. This is, like, just a suit that I had because I was like, oh, I want to play Ace Attorney and have, like, a suit. And I made, like, a suit for myself. That was basically it. This is actually my second outfit. And the armor thing is my third. Actually, fourth, because I at one point had, like, this little Catboy outfit, which was just my normal outfit with, like, ears and a tail that I made as a joke. Actually, wait, no, I also had, you know how some VTubers have, like, 3D models? Well, I had a 1D model, which was just, like, my normal model-ish, but it's, like, just a straight line that vaguely looks like me. And that one was pretty cool. I like that one, as a joke. So this is... Armor was technically my 5th one. The lawyer, yeah. Something like that.
Huh? Oh, right.
Catboy Arrow. I don't want to dig that one up. I think I used it for, like, one stream as a joke. It was from, I think, the April Fool's thing, or it was either Valentine's or April Fool's. I can't tell which one it was, but it was, like... It would have been, like... Like a couple of years ago, I think? I don't know.
Hey, keep it together, man.
Sorry.
Jeez. So what do we do?
What do you...
We need to think about our next step.
We do.
Our numbers are 1, 3, 5, and 6. That's a digital root of 6.
Oh, right, because we don't have everyone else with us right now.
4 of us can't open the number 9 door.
But... if we leave June behind, then we can. Shit.
The 4. Wait, don't tell me.
Yep. There's one combination that'll let 3 of us open the 9 door. That's why I'm asking, what now?
What now?
Yeah, shit. It took him no time at all to determine the answer. There was only one combination of 3 people that would give a digital root of 9. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. That would mean...
No, we gotta go back.
that wasn't a possibility he was willing to consider. Santa and Ace agreed. Line arrow stick is a concept, just slightly wobbly line somehow spoke. Actually, wait, that one I could probably show you. I think I still have that one up in VTube Studio. Hold on. Hold on. Where the hell did I put that? Let's see. Oh, here it is. Oh, I also had like an 8-bit model, so I think the armor is technically number like... You know what? Let's ignore that. It's number like 6, 7. I don't even know how many at this point. I've got a lot of different things. But yeah, hold on. Alright, is this even gonna show up properly? That's the... Oh, here I am, yep. 1D arrowhead. But yeah, this is basically, my 1D model. I haven't brought this thing out in a while. That's kind of funny. I don't know, I think out of all the dumb jokes I've made, this is still one of the funniest. Alright, so how many outfits does one man need? Yeah. So the others I don't really even use anymore for the most part. I also had... Hold on. Let me... let's see. I also had... Hold on. I also had this one. Where it's like a little 8-bit guy. I think I used this when I was playing Undertale or something. But yeah. 1D Arrow, yeah. I think 1D Arrow came out really well. But yeah, this is my little 8-bit model. I again have not used this thing in a very long time. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, I think. Anyway, where? Yep, there. Gonna go back to my suit model. Most of those I have not touched in a while, primarily just because they're not... I don't know. I think they were made primarily off of my old version of this model, as opposed to, like, a newer one, which I saw as an issue somehow. Anyway, back to 9 and 9. Alright, Santa and Ace agree.
Yep.
I agree. We cannot leave June behind.
And June's like, thanks! I didn't ask, but yeah. Junpei let out a breath he hadn't realized he'd been holding.
Are you sure? I don't mind staying.
Nope. We're going on the June route. June's body betrayed her true feelings. Well, 8-bit form reminds me of either Binding of Isaac or some old forgotten Pokemon villain. Well, at least I'm not, like, a bad Pokemon villain, necessarily, like Lysander, or whatever his name was. Her eyes were wet with the beginnings of tears, and her legs shook.
It's okay. There's no way we'd leave you behind.
Santa had said what Junpei had known the moment he realized which 3 people could go through the door.
Besides, I'd rather drown at the bottom of the ocean than escape with this sausage fest.
Alright, yeah.
Maybe I'll get to go to Atlanta.
What? Oh, he means Atlantis. Okay.
Are you sure you don't mean
Okay.
Atlantis?
That makes more sense.
Oh, right.
Perhaps it was the sudden reassurance that no one wanted to leave June behind, but Junpei laughed harder than he had in some time. People yourself will do great in Wreck-It Ralph. Oh, that'd be funny, yeah. I still haven't seen that movie. Thoughts, Fester, there... No, the whole thing is that, the one woman here would be left behind if the 3 of them left. Santa and Ace smiled.
You guys.
Aww. June blinked tears from her eyes and bit her lip. She didn't seem to know what else to say.
Very well. Best we head back to C-Deck then. We should be able to take the elevator we passed earlier.
And then we can find the others and hopefully form teams that can somehow
Perhaps
escape.
Clover, 7, and Lotus will have returned from door 1.
Even as Ace spoke, they knew finding the others wouldn't improve the situation.
But even with all 7 of us...
Ace knew it. They all knew it.
Standing around here isn't going to accomplish anything, don't you agree? Let's find the other 3 first, and then search for another solution.
Okay, so if we want to escape with both Junpei and June... Let's see, that would equal 11, so we need another 7. Basically, it's those 2 and 7 could form a team on their own.
I guess you're right.
All right, let's go.
Ace looked at all 3 of them, then turned and headed through the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's stop more than 3 people from entering a door at once. So basically, it's not that there's more than 3 people, it's that you need the right number of the digital root to enter the door. And for there to be the right number of 9, you would need, for them to have 1, which is Ace, 3, which is Santa, and then 5, which is Junpei. But June is 6, and she can't be in there and have it still be 9. So the whole thing of this is, we're trying to make different groups of people where their number has a digital root of 9. And we could have had that if everyone was alive and have everyone escape, but now we can't. So we're basically going to have to decide which order we go with where someone has to stay behind. Santa and June followed. Which, by the way, we can only have a maximum of 5 people and no less than 3 people enter a door. So we need at least 3. Junpei started toward the door, then stopped.
Come to think of it, what is this room?
It didn't seem terribly important now, but... What exactly was
We were
it?
so focused on the doors, we didn't even look around.
A red carpet ran between 2 columns of wooden benches that ran the length of the room. So clearly it's like a church sort of thing.
Huh. It looks like it's set up for some kind of ceremony.
Like a church.
But what kind?
A wedding? Facing the 9 door was the carpet leading to the bow of the ship. And at the end... Was it an altar, perhaps? There was a small rectangular alcove at the end of the carpet, and inside the alcove was a raised platform. I didn't think this game was a psychological math game. No wonder it's on Cool Math. Oh, I don't know if it is on Cool Math, but I do think it would be funny if it was. Resting on top of the platform was a coffin.
A coffin? What on earth is
coffin?
a coffin doing in a place like this?
It could be a funeral. And they've got the 2, like, planet symbols on either side of the flags. But before Junpei had the time to answer that question...
Hey, Junpei, the hell are you doing? Let's move.
This is when the first guy died. He went in with too few people. Exactly, yeah. Making a joke for time. Okay, yeah. Just making sure. It'd be really funny if it was somehow on there. And I was like, what, huh? I paid for this? Santa's voice echoed from the hall outside.
Right, okay. I'll be right there.
Junpei turned on his heel and left the quiet, somber room. Well, fuck, that's creepy. I wonder who's in the box. Who's in the box? It'd be awesome if it was only playable through data mining the files. Yeah. You know, like, that's the way you get the true ending, is by, like, fiddling with your stuff and deleting certain characters. Like, Doki Doki Literature Club. They took the elevator up to C deck. Once there, they headed back toward the main hall and the central staircase. It didn't take them long.
Look, it's...
Seven and Lotus.
They didn't look happy.
We've got a problem.
Clover is gone.
Oh, god damn it! Alright, let's hear it.
What?
Junpei and his three companions looked at one another. He turned back to Seven and Lotus.
What do you mean, gone?
Santa, Ace, and June had their own questions to ask.
Why?
You two went into door 1 with Clover, didn't you?
Seven and Lotus responded as best they could.
Yeah, we went through the door together.
But Clover barely spoke to us.
She just did her own thing the whole time.
There were 4 rooms on the other side of door 1.
She wouldn't let us into the 4th room.
She just said, I'll take care of this one.
And
And shut the door.
she just...
She must have blocked
She's
it with
stuck?
something on the other side.
We waited for a while, but Clover didn't...
Okay, so let's think about the numbers we got left, right? 8, 7, and then 6, 5, 3, and 1. We need 2 groups with a digital root of 9. We need at least 3 people in each group. So, unfortunately, we can't just do 1, 5, and 3. We gotta do a little more creative stuff than that. So if we have those 2... Actually, wait, no, I don't think there's a combination where we can get 2 whole groups out of this.
We called for her, but she didn't answer.
Off the top of my head.
So I kicked down the door and we went into the room.
But
It was empty.
Clover wasn't there.
There
God
was a
damn
door
it.
on the other wall.
And it was open.
And where did it lead?
We figure she opened the
Like
door
a pit of lava or
herself.
something?
We ran after her, of course, but
Obviously, we didn't find her. You figured that much out.
Clover's gone.
Huh.
When did this happen?
We got here just before you.
You certainly have excellent timing.
So you haven't searched anywhere other than near the staircase?
No, we haven't.
Maybe Clover could bring it up to, like, better numbers. I don't know. I'll think about that later. I still don't fully understand their motive to escape while being hostile to each other. Essentially, their thought process is that, like, if we get to the 9 door, they thought there was going to be only 1. Turns out there were 2. So we could have had everybody live. But, unfortunately, due to their various scheming of whoever did it, we now cannot. And we're going to have to leave people behind. Finally, Ace spoke. His voice had an edge of resolve and concern.
Very well then. We'd best separate and look for Clover. We haven't much time left. Let's begin.
Yeah.
But we have found the ending, so assuming that it doesn't take too much time to do that, we can theoretically still get out of the ship. There were quick nods all around, and the 6 remaining players spread out. Junpei and June ran to the central hospital room and looked around.
She's not here.
No, she isn't.
They searched a little longer, but with no luck. They couldn't find Clover.
There's no sign of her. Let's go.
Finally, they gave up and left the central hospital room. Actually, what's the point in escaping on 1 and 2 decks get flooded? At that point, the rafts are up and most likely gone. It's possible that there just are no rafts? Because we haven't seen any life rafts, and I don't think we've been able to get onto like the deck of the ship. It could be that there's like a submarine docked under the ship, and that's what used to escape, but like, I'm not entirely sure. Slowly, they made their way back to the hallway. At last, they reached the stairs, and Junpei spoke.
All right, I'm thinking we should probably split up. I'll head back to the stairs and take the elevator down to E deck. June, you can take the stairs up to B deck.
All right, that sounds good. But,
What?
could you stop calling me by that code name when we're alone?
Aw, that's cute.
Huh? Sure, right. I'll do that.
Not gonna lie, I completely forgot what her name is. There was a reason Junpei persisted in calling her June even when they were alone. Although, perhaps not the best reason. He was embarrassed to call her by the nickname he'd used when they were children. Hanny. 9 years ago, it came naturally. After all, they were children. But now that they were adults, it felt strange. Regardless of what he might hope for, to call a woman he wasn't dating by such a childish nickname felt odd to him. Of course, to call her Miss... Oh, it was Akane, that's it. That's the one. Of course, to call her Miss Kurashiki, or however I pronounce that, would be even more awkward, and simply Kurashiki would seem a little brusque. And although he couldn't put his finger on why, it felt somewhat forward to call her Akane when they hadn't seen each other for so long. I'm such an overthinker when it comes to this, like, what's stopping them from cutting the power to the ship and forcing their way through the doors? I think the main thing there is that they don't know what's powering the ship, and the way the bombs work, being the way they are, it's entirely possible the guy could just activate them remotely, maybe. There's a lot we don't know about, like, how that works, I think. In short, it was simply easier for him to call her June and leave it at that.
Jumpy.
Oh, no, it's nothing.
All right, I'm going then.
Yeah, be careful, Kane.
June, or perhaps more appropriately, Kani, blushed and smiled.
You be careful too, Jumpy.
Yeah, I don't have to read that. I forgot.
Take care.
Junpei looked after her for a moment as she ran up the stairs, then turned around and took off for the hallway. Okay. I'm trying to think, if there is a... Technically, Junpei and Clover equal 9, but they also don't have 3 people, so they would need at least, like, another 9 sets. That'd be, at that point, him, Clover, June, and then Santa theoretically could all leave together. Tragedy always strikes when one least expects it. To wait for a man to stand before striking him down seems almost crueler than dealing the fatal blow while he lies on the ground. A light in a dark place, June's smile had given him hope, both for escape and possibly for something else. It was that hope that raised his spirits just enough that they might soon be fully dashed. He opened the elevator door, and there she was. A woman sat slouched against the wall. Lotus. What? Junpei felt his blood turn to ice. Her body was limp, and her skin, smooth and pale as always,
A body has been discovered!
was covered in bright red blood. What the fuck is happening? Hold on, am I even... Okay, so that's interesting. I didn't even make a choice here, but it seems to have put me on this route regardless. So I'm guessing, if there are only 5 endings, this is the real ending, and some other choice that I didn't make put me on this path. Interesting. Junpei felt his chest constrict. He couldn't breathe, and his legs began to shake. A slow, cold drop of sweat trickled down his back. He felt his stomach somersault. Junpei's mind went blank. All his thoughts replaced with endless, hissing white. Exactly, yeah, Lotus has been killed somehow. What the fuck is happening? I expected it to be Clover. This is... Huh. Okay, so based off of this solely, my only real guess is that Clover would have killed her, because, believing that she killed her brother. But then... I don't know, that... Driven by little more than instinct, he began to walk toward Lotus, slowly. And then there's also whoever was in the coffin. Each slow movement of his stiff limbs brought him closer to her corpse. Finally, he stood next to her. Robotically, he bent down and put his hand against her neck. There was no pulse. No rise and fall of breathing. He was slightly warm. Something, somewhere in Junpei's shaken mind, told him that that meant she had been killed recently. Yes, Junpei thought, his mind slowly returning. She had been killed. Woodkalo, she's the fucking smartest and only computer genius. That's the thing. I don't know who would have done that, other than maybe Clover. Unless the same person has been killing everybody and there's actually a 10th person. Someone had killed her. There was a deep cut on the left side of her chest. Blood still oozed from it, although clearly her heart had stopped beating some time ago. The weapon had been a knife then? Perhaps she had been stabbed in the heart once. She would have died immediately. He took little comfort from knowing she must have suffered very little. Only then did Junpei notice. Lotus's bracelet was gone.
Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only two ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. For Hartley, which is 0.
Oh, okay, so someone might have killed her for her bracelet so that they can just leave and the rest of us will die. But off the top of my head, let me think. The only people that could manage that... Actually, wait, let's assume that Clover is also dead, and that Snake's bracelet was taken too. If Snake's bracelet was taken, which would bring him... That would be 2, right? Unless his was destroyed when he was blown up, which is possible. I don't know. Santa, Snake, Junpei, the overall guy, and Jun are all innocent. That's the thing. We don't know who, other than Ace, who was asleep during most of this because of the anesthesia thing. Let me think. Well, we know it wasn't Junpei, because Junpei's been the perspective character this whole time. Jun was with us when this happened, so it wasn't her either. Everyone else is fair game. So it couldn't have been either Jun or Junpei. Snake is already dead. The 9th guy is dead. So that leaves 7, Clover, and Santa. Basically. And of those... I don't think it would be Santa, because Santa was all gung-ho about not leaving June if they were to leave the ship. Ace as well. So at that point, it's between 7 and Clover. I'm thinking it was Clover if it was anyone on the team. Because she would theoretically think that, Lotus killed her brother, which is possible. We haven't really ruled that out. I think Clover most likely, because she isn't here and she would have needed one more person's bracelet. At least one more person's bracelet. We still don't know, like, what other bracelets she's got. But if she were to get out, she would need... Let me think. If she, let's say she took Lotus's bracelet, because it looks like that's what happened. That would bring her up to 12. She would then go after... June, I think.
In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the convoy of the ship, or the outside of the mirror's heartbeat has fallen to 0...
She would need June. Was that why the killer had ended Lotus's life? So that they might have the number 8 bracelet? If that was true, then the killer was whoever wanted the number 8 bracelet. Or perhaps more accurately, the person who would gain the most by obtaining the bracelet number 8. Who is that? Who would benefit the most from the number 8 bracelet? The thought had only just entered Junpei's mind when... Oh. Wait, hold on a minute. Junpei seems to have just gotten stabbed, and he's got number 5. 5 and 8 is 13, so that means the one who would kill them was June. Wait, no. It would have been... But wait, that doesn't make any sense. The only one who could have done that was Junpei. A sound like a sharp knife cutting through wet meat. It struck him as strange that the noise came from inside his own body. A moment later, the pain hit him. It wasn't merely pain. There was heat. Extreme heat as well. He felt as though molten iron had been splashed against the side of his body. Finally, his brain made the connection. He had been stabbed. But where? His body was quickly going numb. He couldn't tell where the knife had met his flesh. Given the circumstances, however, he had most likely been stabbed in the back. Oh yeah, quite literally. Whoever had killed Lotus had now done the same to Junpei as well. His voice was little more than a weak groan. With what little strength he had left, Junpei turned his body, trying to catch a glimpse of his attacker. But as he did, the knife dug itself in deeper, twisting viciously. Biggest murder reveal ever. That's the thing. I don't know who this is, actually. He collapsed to the floor. A puppet with its strings cut. Okay, that has to be a very common phrase, because I've seen that phrase used a lot in a lot of these, like, Japanese mystery novel things. His arms and legs lay where they fell, oddly twisted and awkwardly positioned. Junpei's body was entirely numb. He could feel the blood leaking out of him, but nothing would move. Nothing save his eyes. As he lay on the floor, his life ebbing away, Junpei finally saw his attacker. 2 tiny images of the killer reflected in his eyes. With that recognition came nothing. He felt no emotions. Not anger, not sadness, not regret. The paralysis that had claimed his body had reached his mind. His killer glanced down at his body. Then, without a word, climbed into the elevator and was gone. His eyesight began to fade. The world grew blurry and began to dissolve into an empty white fog. Fun fact in these games is that the participants are willing to do this and just follow script blindly. That is true. That is certainly possible. The fog crept into the edges of his mind and worked inexorably inward. Soon, it swallowed up the last that remained of Junpei's mind, and his consciousness left him. There was nothing more. Into utter emptiness, he fell. Into zero. Whatever Junpei had been was gone. Bad end. Doesn't surprise me. Wonder what else I could have done. I saw the knife ending, according to the achievement I just got. You have reached one ending. This game has multiple endings. In order to experience all the endings, you need to play through the game multiple times. Make sure to save your progress now to retain all information you've acquired. Memory of Escape has been added to the title screen. Memory of Escape enables you to replay the escape rooms you've completed. Yes. Oh, so it shows the endings I've got up here. Okay. So I got ending 5? Oh, okay, I get it. So basically, this is locked until I do something else. I'm guessing this will lead to the true ending. Actually, wait, if there are 6 endings, then what is... Hold on. This is unlocked, and this is locked. So it seems like the only point I can really go back to is here. Then I can go through one of these rooms or this place, but I can't do anything else. Maybe dying mysteriously is an ending? Apparently, I guess that's like... I have played another game made by the creator of this thing where basically there is a true ending, but you have to do every other route in the game to get to it. So for this, I'm guessing part of the deal is... what is it? Basically that you have to get all the right keys until you win, essentially. So basically, there's a lock right here. I'm guessing there is a choice I'll be able to make here that will lead to me getting this ending, but I can't do that yet because I lack whatever thing I need. Now let's see. I can't do whatever this is, I think. It says locked, and I'm guessing I need whatever key this is to progress, so I can only go here. Alternatively, it means that I got whatever key this is, and this is the one that I need to obtain by going either here or here. Well, one way to find out. The 3, 7, and 8 doors. Alright, yeah.
Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let his sacrifice go to waste, right?
I'm just gonna skip through everything until we, get to the choice, because we've already done this part.
You first.
It's the same.
Got it. You're next.
I'll take 7. I can't get...
What? What did you just say?
Who, me?
Oh, you're...
All right. Who's next?
I don't seem like I can skip through the audio. I've already done door 8. I'm gonna say door 7 leads to the same place, so let's go with door 3.
I want to go through door number 3.
Nope, you can't.
Huh? Why?
Because it's impossible.
Oh, I probably should do the adventure screen.
If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3.
Why?
The bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Huh.
There are 2 combinations that can go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8.
But then if, like, let's say... Oh, I get what he's saying. Basically, only one group can go, and the rest would have to stay.
That's it. Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door.
I see. That means one team would get left behind.
That's right.
That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8?
No, they're fine. We've got 3 options.
Santa began to explain.
Option A, have 3, 5, and 8 go through door 7.
Which I'm pretty no, we went through door 8 before, I believe.
4, 6, 7 go through door 8.
Which totally what decision you made to get you there. So it does have the decision grayed out, so I assume that's the one that I made before. Imagine if there was a form of deja vu dialogue where you can hint to the characters off the superstition that the endings would happen at random. That is kind of what happened in the other game, that like, in, AI Somnium Files, there's a bit where you're trying to get for the normal ending, for the, like, the true ending, and the characters will kind of know stuff that they learned in the other routes, but not know how they know it. Kind of like an intuition sort of thing.
Option B, 4, 5, and 7 go through 7, and 3, 6, and 8 go through 8.
Now, I went through door 8, which means... Oh yeah, that was the one where I went with, 7 and Clover. Wait, no, I went through... I had Santa and Lotus. And then... Yeah, I didn't go through door 7,
Option
okay.
C, 3, 6, and 7 go through 7, and 4, 5, and 8 get 8.
Wait, which one did I do, actually? Okay, so I must have gone with option C then, because that's... I went through door 8. That means I was with Clover and Lotus, that was the one with the lab and the fire and all that. Okay, yeah.
Those are the only 3 options. That's it. At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here.
Wait.
That was when Junpei realized. Plan A divides into 2 teams. Okay, yeah, 3, 5, 8, and 4, 6, 7. Yeah, he just said this. I'm assuming instead of you dying, the alternative is you managing to find the murderer and everyone else still dies anyway. That's another option, or it could be that somehow I managed to convince everyone that we can make it through even without anyone dying. Which at this point is impossible, kinda, but we'll see. Plan B divides into 2 teams. 4, 5, 7, and 3, 6, 8. Plan C divides into 2 teams. 3, 6, 7, and 4, 5, 8.
That means...
There was one thing they all had in common.
5 and 6 can never be on the same team. If we want all 6 of us to go through a door...
But yeah, I don't think it was June as the killer.
Go into the same one.
That would be... difficult. June and Junpei had been friends when they were kids. He trusted her more than anyone else on the ship. If he chose 7 or 8, he'd be taken away from her. Was that something he was prepared to do?
Have you mulled it over enough, or do you need more time? Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die. So what are you gonna do? 7 or 8? Time to choose.
Hold on, let's see the flowchart. Okay, nothing's changed, so... Thinking over, his conclusion was... Huh. I'm gonna go with door 3. Because we will be able to theoretically, like... Makoto Strat only works in Danganronpa, you can only give false hope so much in this game. That's true, but I'm guessing there is somehow a way to get everyone off the ship. That's like the true ending. Because it could be that, like, the one person who we can't bring with us is actually the killer the whole time. This guy OD'd, or perhaps even a mastermind who tried some risky shit that Zero didn't want anyone to see. That is entirely possible, yeah. A lot of different things. I think with the point at the moment, we just know so little that it really could be basically anything. So... I'm gonna go with door 3 just because that's probably the weirdest one that I can pick.
Sorry, Santa, but I still want to go through door 3.
What? That's nuts! You've got to be crazy!
I am crazy, but the last ending led to me dying, and as for what I can see on the flowchart, oh hey, I'm here now. And this one is now blocked off. Okay, so new theory. What if this means like a key choice that I need to make, and when it's done like this, I've done it, and when it's not unlocked, I haven't. Or when it's unlocked, I haven't done it. As in, whatever key choices I need to make here, I've already done them, so I've got the things I need for the ending, but I don't have them elsewhere, which also means that, theoretically, all of this is going to mean the same thing. I just need to get to this point where we unlock... I'm guessing this is where we unlock the coffin and let out whoever's inside, because then we can escape. No, I'm ending on a motherfucker. There's a difference. Exactly. But yeah, I'm guessing that also means... Alright, so this means I probably made the right choice here. By not going and investigating the body that was the 9th guy. Door 3 was probably the right choice here, and whatever choice was for this, I've got them. But that also means essentially that there was another choice for door 8 that could potentially just lead to the same place, but honestly, who knows. I also got whatever keys are here. So, honestly, who knows? And apparently, this has no key choice. Which is weird, because this leads to any of these endings. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things that could happen here.
Why the hell are you so obsessed with that door?
Like the number 3. What's wrong with it? Junpei paused. Swallowed the words he'd been about to say.
I'm just curious about door 3. That's all.
Okay, wait, what words was he about to say?
That doesn't explain shit.
I've got a reason.
I'd be happy to explain it to you if you'll just come with me.
Okay, let's see. Who, in theory, could go with him to door 3? Let's say I bring June, right? That brings us up to 11. We still need at least Ace to get through. If we bring, let's see. At 11, we could bring along 7 and then Santa and have that be a whole group. Their curiosity likely getting the better of them, the others followed. A few of them looked a little suspicious, but Junpei told himself that that wouldn't matter. He kept walking and kept silent. Eventually, they arrived at the number 3 door. Junpei stopped.
I'm curious about the red. 7, would you mind authenticating for me?
Okay, what are we doing here? What?
Why?
Please, just do it.
He stared at Junpei for a moment, then grunted and laid his palm heavily on the scanner.
Happy?
Okay, so we got 7. In that case, we do need June, Junpei, and then Santa.
Yeah, thanks. The number 7 has been entered into the red.
Yeah?
Next is June. Please touch the red just like 7 did.
Jumpy, what are you trying to figure out?
Ah, yep. I think...
Okay, sure. I'm not even following his logic. We need the virtual root of whatever the number is in the door, right? Exactly. So if he has himself, June, 7, and then Santa, they have a root, they have 21, which is a root of 3. Unless I did my math completely wrong. Which is entirely possible. It's happened several times throughout this playthrough. Junpei thought about his answer for a moment.
I think I might have found another way out.
What?
What?
Really?
That got them excited. Just as Junpei had intended. Oh, what? What are we doing here?
Now please, June.
Oh, okay.
What the fuck is happening? 7 plus 6 equals 13 equals 1 plus 3 equals 4. Yeah, what about it? Those two numbers in the red, Junpei had what he wanted. But then that equals 9. If he goes there as well. He casually placed his own hand in the scanner, and then the third asterisk blinked on. 4 plus 5 equals 9.
Alright, the only people who haven't authenticated now are Santa, Clover, and Lotus.
Well, yeah?
So, what's your point?
You don't get it. Think about it.
Huh?
What's the sum of your number and Clover's?
12.
12, yeah. That makes 21. Okay. I see where he's going with this.
And what's the digital root of that?
3.
Which is Santa's number. By the way, Lotus, what's the number that's currently in the red?
7 plus 6 plus 5 equals 18. It would be 9, right?
Yes, and what will the digital root be if you add 3 to that?
3. The door's number.
Yeah?
There you go.
Junpei, the fuck are you on about?
Hey, wait a minute. What the hell are you up to?
What happens if Lotus comes with? Okay, so the rules are that you can't have more than 5 people through a door at once. You also can't have less than 3. You need somewhere in that number. So the reason I find this so weird is that he's making it sound like he wants everyone to come through. I guess except Ace. I don't know where Ace is at this point. Maybe he's asleep. Oh yeah, no, this is right after he did the anesthesia thing, and then, okay. So yeah, that's where we're at, right? I don't know what Junpei's trying to say here. Unless he's like, oh, well, we can fit in this many people. And it's like, we literally know that's not in the rules. What are you talking about?
I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
I'm waiting for the balance to shift.
What?
Santa or Lotus and Clover?
Oh. So this is probably the villain route.
Once one of you moves, the others won't have a choice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go.
So I'm waiting.
But wait, if more than 5 people enter the thing, won't they just, like, stop working? Won't it, like, reset or something? I don't know. Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever.
You son of a bitch! You tricked us!
I did not intend for this to happen. This is like one of those things in a video game where it's like, oh, you have 3 dialogue options. Hello, hi, and yo. And then it's like they're all significantly more aggressive than you thought they were. I did not intend for this to happen.
All that stuff you were going on about is all bullshit!
I have made enemies.
Bullshit, huh? I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figured out another way to get out of here? This is it.
Oh, God.
Why the hell would you do something like this?
Jumpy.
Junpei glanced at June. Yeah, this is pretty fucked, dude.
You did this just so you could go through the same door as June.
Don't look at me. I didn't intend for this.
That's it?
Santa was furious. His face was red and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. Junpei closed his eyes calmly, then opened them again. Say it, don't spray it, Junpei said.
So, who's it going to be? Santa or Lotus and Clover?
Shit!
Lotus, Clover, Santa.
Let's go, Clover.
Fuck, she's fast. Lotus leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei in the door.
Fuck!
Oh man, I don't want to leave Santa behind. He seems like a decent guy. I did not plan for this happening. I want to clarify, Santa, my apologies, bro. Didn't know this was gonna work like this. This is probably the Junpei betrayal ending. Hi, the actual dialogue. Oi! Hey, you ate a nuke! Exactly! This was not what I thought was gonna happen. Then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and Clover.
No, wait!
Santa did not hesitate. He slammed his hand down in the red.
This is insane! This isn't right!
Well, now you're participating, so... welcome to the gang of evil, I guess. The Legion of Doom. He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving.
Yeah, well, you may be right.
No, he is right! This is pretty fucked, dude! Now, I retract all of my complaints if Santa was the one who killed me in the other route. Which is entirely possible. Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort. He turned to the red and pulled the lever. With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain so for 9 seconds. There was no time to think.
Go.
Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped into the door's gaping mouth, one after another. Bro, this is fucked. No sooner did they enter than an all-too-familiar noise sounded from their left wrists. The detonators had activated. Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door.
No.
They stood still, stopped where they had been when Santa reached the red. The defeat and desperation on their faces tore at Junpei's heart. Well, then you shouldn't have fucking done this then, you know? Which, granted, I realize it's my fault, but I didn't think he was gonna do it like this. This is the most scuffed ending I've ever seen of all, because the protagonist decided to listen to the damn protagonist. They deserve to get it back after this BS. Okay, here's the funny thing, too. It's not just the ending. There's a bunch of stuff that happens after this, apparently. Just based on this, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... There's like 7 scenes after this. Probably even a few escape rooms. I'm guessing this is one of them. But yeah, that's... Bro, what the fuck, man? Junpei? Why? Then the door closed, and they were gone. We could have tried looping back to them. You could have said that before.
Junpei, this isn't fair.
I will say, the voice acting in this game is, I think it's quite good. Santa's doing a good job. Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes and his knuckles white.
Do you realize what you just did? You leave them out there, and they can't...
Shut it! That's enough!
It hadn't been Junpei that spoke up, but Seven.
We gotta find the dead or none of this is gonna matter!
The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would be...
We got less than a minute left! No time for screwing around! Get moving!
Damn it! You and I are not done yet, bastard!
Fuck. Why are they scared of being left behind? That's the thing. We don't... This is at the point where we don't know that they can loop back to this room like 7 and 8 did. So I'm guessing part of the thing is that we are operating under the assumption that whoever gets left behind will be left behind for good. We don't know that that's true. In fact, I'm pretty sure that that's wrong, because they still have Ace with them, I think. That means, look, they got, okay, they can't make it through any of the other doors, but theoretically, we could loop back. But they don't think that at the moment. They scattered them and began to scour the room. Now, if Junpei had led with that, where he was like, oh, hey, we can loop back to this one later, or something like that, like we did before, that might have been convincing enough, but it wasn't for them. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found.
Where the hell is it?
Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but every one was blocked off by a wall of metal. There was only one way out. One other door.
Over there! It's gotta be behind the door!
Seven ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled.
Damn, it's pitch dark inside.
Can't see a thing!
Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the room.
No, wait!
Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right wall.
I found it! The dead's right over here!
This is some Hunger Games type shit, man. Why would Junpei, the character everyone wanted to live, is casually willing to sacrifice everyone? That's the thing. I'm starting to wonder if there's something else going on here. Like, what if it's like unreliable narrator stuff and all? It's kind of like I'm not gonna say the game because it kind of spoils the what's going on. But I have read a few other mystery games in which the person who's the perspective character wasn't reliable in terms of what they were saying was happening. So, who knows? He stepped into the room.
What? The floor's slippery.
He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What was...
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
Oh, this is the room where Snake died, isn't it?
There's something...
Get over there!
Junpei felt Seven's heavy hand against his back and stumbled across the room. Right, this is where that happened! I forgot. The other three piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. But there was no time to say so.
Quick! Get to the dead!
They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was the tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over.
There it is!
Oh, they're gonna put the blood on their hand. Oh god. Look, there is bluffing towards everyone to make a bit of extra mystery. Snake still dies here regardless. Yeah, I think he was already dead by this point. This is why they had so much trouble getting through these doors. In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel. Okay, we're all good. Seven leaned against the wall, gulping air. As his breathing began to return to normal, he glanced at his wrist and grunted.
It stopped. It stopped.
Wait a minute. LR. I think. I know we have someone with an initial of L, but do we have anyone with an initial of R? We got Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, Junpei, June, Seven, Lotus, and the ninth man who is unnamed. So, I don't think this is the name of the characters necessarily. Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's face.
I don't think I'll ever get used to doing this.
Good, you don't have to. It probably smells awful in there, yeah. The sound of retching came from Santa's direction.
What the hell is this smell? This is vile. I'm gonna puke.
I think part of the reason most people hate that smell is because it's your brain telling you, oh hey, a person died here, go away. So you can survive. Does LR refer to one or does it mean L and R is in two people? That's the question. Yeah, it's like, it's got these little points right here, which makes me think that, like, maybe this is, I can't tell if this is like blood splatter or if it's like initials, like LR. This could be like Lotus something or other, but I don't know. So desperate had they been in their race to the dead that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was a terrible, nauseating stench, like burnt and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took.
Oh, you're right. This is...
He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his throat.
Let's get the lights on first. There's a switch over here.
Oh god, oh no. The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated a small switch plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked towards it. I think it would have been better if they didn't show us what the room was until this happened. He stopped as he got close and extended his fingers toward the switch.
Okay guys, I'm flipping it on.
There was a soft click as the lights came on. Just as the light turned on, June took in a short breath and... A scream echoes through the room. Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat. Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before him.
What?
Also, LLR, that's true. Wait, let me see it.
Hey. Oh, this is...
What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood like tiny islands in a great red sea. A vast, ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left like trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it. Some specific-ass blood splatter formed perfectly legible writing. That's the thing, I think someone painted that onto the wall. Like with the blood.
Looks like an explosion.
Of blood. Evan's voice was low and strained.
Just like the knife man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gun.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
Yep.
It's definitely an open fracture.
They're saying the same thing as when we found them the first time. It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd and natural way. Yep, we got that. Bracelet next to him.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Half his head was simply collapsed. Raw pizza covered in tomato sauce. Clothes too were covered in blood. Burgundy. Yep.
But the clothes are.
All familiar to Junpei. Snake. Yep.
Oh my.
Finally, Junpei
Why
spoke.
did this happen?
Suddenly, June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream, full of insanity, and not entirely human. Okay, wait, that reaction's a little weird. She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of hair tearing.
Stop! Calm down.
He grabbed for her wrist.
Hey!
But as he did, June leapt up and ran toward the exit. Don't get me wrong, I understand being frightened at the sight of a dead body. Oh yeah, kind of exactly like 11-037. I scream so much like she got PTSD from this. That's the thing, I don't know, which begs the question, what is with her reaction? Don't get me wrong, I understand not wanting to see a dead body, or like, especially not in a state like that. But her reaction seems a bit odd compared to the way everyone else reacts. She screamed at the door and her fist slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood in her knuckles.
Why are you doing these horrible things to us? What did we do to deserve this?
June.
She screamed again, a desperate, mindless cry. Her fist flailed against the door. So yeah, there's an L, there's another L, there's an R.
Please,
Left, left, right.
June.
Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arms around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door.
Calm down.
No! Get off of me! Let me go! Let me go!
Please, calm down.
Okay, look. For anyone in this situation, if this ever happens, I don't think telling someone to calm down is going to calm them down. You have to, like, tell them, like, breathe, or, like, I don't know. Whatever you do with, like, a cat or a dog when there's, like, thunderstorms outside, I guess just do that with people. I don't know, man. This is why you're so fucked, but everyone's like, oh shit, he's dead, and June is screaming like, yeah, exactly. Which, again, seems a little odd to me. Like, maybe it's implying something. Maybe she's partially responsible, but that seems unlikely. I don't know, we'll find out more as we go on. She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared, and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. June collapsed toward the floor, and Junpei knelt down with her. He felt drops of something warm and wet. She was peeing on him. Was she crying? A moment later, she began to sob. Aww. Her shoulders shook, and great hot tears rolled down her face like rain.
We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright, June. It's going to be okay, Connie.
Okay, so now he calls her this earlier. Huh. Her name was a whisper.
I'll be here with you, okay?
She nodded once.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. Bro, please try to relax. You okay? It's a very helpful response. Or at least some kind of affirmation she's still there. At least try to gaslight her into being okay. Hey, don't worry. You're not blown up. You're still here. You're alive. He stroked her hair gently. His face was so close to her. The scent of her hair was nostalgic.
Do you feel better?
Yes. But I'd like to stay here.
But you said you wanted to leave.
A while at least. Jumpy's body is so warm.
And the other two guys are like, man, why did we join him? Wait, so Jun and Junpei are both code names, right? Junpei is his real name, at least according to her. He would have had a code name, but she said his name out loud before. So that way they were like, alright, dude, look, we already know your real name, but we should keep the other code names because Zero might not know our actual names. So, she said his name, that's why his is the thing. Her name is actually Akane, but they call her June because that's a code name. Okay, so how are we going to progress from here? Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms under June's, and helped her to her feet. They didn't speak. Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead. They had died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew that there was no way he could make himself forget that. There was no way any of them could forget it, but mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead.
We better get to it.
Okay, escape room time. Let's go. Kana could simply be an alias. That is true, but Junpei seemed to recognize her from childhood. So it's entirely possible that she and Junpei were actually they are the people that say they are. And they're the only two that we know for a fact are who they are, you know? However, it could also just as easily be a fake, as you said. So, it could be a lot of things. There's letters written in blood. LLR. I think that might have been some sort of dying message from Snake. No, that's impossible. You saw the body. You're not doing anything after something like that happens to you. Then this... The way the blood's dried tells you it's real old. Whoever's blood this is, it ain't Snake's. Then you're saying this blood was put here a long time ago? Yeah. Alright, let's see if anything happens when I turn you. Nope, nothing. Not even a drop. Is the pipe clogged? Got a bucket. There's nothing in the bucket. Junpei reached for the broom, and as he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him. It was June. How long Snake been dead for? At least like a few hours in-game, because they spent like an hour looking for him, I think. And then they decided like, okay, we're gonna go through the doors. Why would he want running water in a flooding ship? That's very counterintuitive. That's true, yeah. Could be that the pipe was burst due to the, like, water. I don't know. It was June.
The rabbit hutch.
What? He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a smile on her face.
Oh,
no, there
this
wasn't.
Reminded me of it. The rabbit hutch, I mean.
How did I remind you of something like that?
Where are we right now? Okay, so we're right here. This is an escape room bit.
Jumpy and the broom. You're always playing around with the broom in front of the rabbit hutch.
Huh.
I was.
Don't you remember?
Okay, this is weird. Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
You mean you don't remember that summer either?
He looked very sad. He shook his head.
Of course I remember. How could I forget something like that?
Okay, you raise a good point. This kind of makes me think that he might not actually be Junpei.
It was terrible.
Unless they were in the 6th grade. Junpei and June had been assigned to take care of the classroom pets, the rabbits. So if he does actually remember this, that kind of... I don't know, we'll see how this plays out. Their chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches. No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea why until he looked behind her into the rabbit hutch. First thing he saw was blood. The hutch was filled with the dead bodies of the rabbits. What the fuck? Even after their teachers and friends came to see what the commotion was, June couldn't stop crying.
I just kept crying and crying until you came over.
Blood writing was 4 snakes supposedly died. I mean, someone must have trapped him there and made it seem like someone murderer wrote it. It could be, but like... maybe this isn't the first time this has happened on this ship. Or that was there from before. It could certainly be the initials of someone else who might have killed him, but at that point, we would need to know who the names are.
You held my hand.
And the only one he would know off the top of his head would probably be his sister, who is Clover. And we don't know what her real name is, but that's the only one I can think of.
Don't cry. I'm gonna catch the person who
Okay, so
did
Junpei could
this.
be lying as the narrator, right? So this could be a forged memory in his own mind to keep his identity together while June is piecing it together. That I agree with. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. Because the only way we know that he's Junpei is because he says he is. But if he's lying, then, you know, that kind of casts doubt there. So yeah, that's... honestly, there are a lot of possibilities as to what could be going on with this.
After you told me that, I finally stopped crying.
It could just be that Junpei has just kind of forgotten stuff as time gone on, and this is just a red herring to make us think, like, maybe he's not trustworthy.
Well, the real fun started after you quit crying. You told me we were gonna catch the killer together.
What if one of them was the killer? June smiled, and a little of the flush of life returned to her cheeks.
Then we decided that we'd ambush them.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember.
School also kept roosters and guinea pigs. Junpei and June had decided the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night. Junpei and June hid behind the hutch at dusk and waited. This is like that one episode of Ghost Stories. What if it was like an evil ghost rabbit? It was a warm summer night. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. Also, there were a lot more, like, special pictures, CGs, for this route than it was for the other couple. Or the other one that I did. The quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky. In June's... Akane Kuroshiki's face. That night was something Junpei knew he would never forget so long as he lived.
But the murderer never showed up.
Okay, but if he's making this up, she's confirming a lot of these details, oddly enough, which would imply that he is getting it right at least. One dead personality rapidly switching to motivational calm leader does seem pretty damn suspicious. It definitely does.
We waited for them all summer vacation, and they never showed up.
Yeah, but the
There's
animals
definitely
didn't get
something
attacked.
going on here. The animals didn't get attacked either. Okay.
I think all that work amounted to something, you know?
Maybe the killer didn't return, quote-unquote, because the killer was one of those two, and they wouldn't do it while the other one was there. And if Junpei overslept, it could be that he stayed up late last night killing the rabbits, and then showed up to find that they were all dead. He felt the same way, but it was good to hear her say it.
Although, you know, if you think about it, we were probably taking on...
Like, what if this is actually like a Saw scenario, where everyone here has done something horrible, and the only way out is to repent for it, essentially?
What do you mean?
He looked up at him, confused. Or perhaps this is real Junpei, but he's still doing something shady as the player. He seemingly killed for no reason with Lotus in the other ending. To be fair, when he was killed, it was probably for his bracelet. Because they would have, like, taken it because he was dead, and then been able to leave with it, provided that, of course, it was the right number. So that could have been just for the bracelet, but it also could have been, in theory, if he wronged someone else on the group, they might have done it for revenge. Maybe. There's a lot of different things we don't know.
Oh, come on, we were just kids. If whoever killed the rabbits had actually showed up, they probably would have had a knife or something. I mean, you must have been pretty worried, right?
I wasn't worried because you were there with me.
She blushed furiously.
Well, you know, no one else wanted to take care of the animals.
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change the subject.
I was the only one who asked to do it at first.
Yeah, well, boys don't really want to bother with taking care of animals, you know.
So they want to kill the animals?
Well, yeah, but you asked to do it after I did, didn't you?
If it wasn't the rabbits,
Something
they were gonna make me
stinks.
do something else. You know how that school was. I figured it'd be better if I was working with somebody who wasn't too much of a loudmouth, right? Somebody who wasn't gonna tell on me if I felt like blowing it off.
Or killing the rabbits?
Really? That's why you volunteered?
Man, she's trying to have a nice memory with you. You could just say, like, because you were there. Like,
Yeah, it is.
bro, you are fumbling the bag so goddamn hard. He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something very important.
Really?
Of course.
Oh, okay, so she knows he's saying it because she was there, okay. That hadn't been the reason, of course. He had asked to take care of the rabbit so that he could be near June. It had been so long ago, he couldn't bring himself to tell her how he felt back then. June could simply be reminiscing from pure shock due to how she reacted, which can happen since she seemed so traumatized from possibly being squeamish. Yeah? Could be. It would be embarrassing. He took a quick breath to clear his head, tossed the broom up, and then snatched it out of the air.
Well, we don't really have time to be walking down memory lane like this, you know? We've got to figure out a way out of this room. Otherwise...
Yes. I'm gonna look over there.
June nodded curtly, then turned and walked away.
I should get back to it myself.
Do I have the broom?
That's right. The pool of blood.
Junpei turned around and looked at the room. Snake's body. Chunks of flesh and organs still lay on the floor.
Going on and on about old times right next to a corpse? What were we doing? Well, maybe it was because we're in this mess.
Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find, which happened to be another story about Rabbit's death. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead before him. Why would they wait for the murderer? If no one showed up, wouldn't that mean the murderer is either still hiding or were there an observer there as well? They were trying to catch the murderer, which, when you're a kid, probably sounds like, it's like a Scooby-Doo thing, I'm guessing. But, obviously, that doesn't make sense to them as adults, because that would have been a bad idea.
I have to survive, no matter the cost. I need to make sure she gets out too.
As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, all Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live. So yeah, I got the broom. Okay, combine it with the bucket. Is there something hidden in the bristles? What are you doing with the broom? You know, if you look at it real close, you can see it's got these lines cut in that kind of spiral up the shaft. A broom. There's lines cut in that spiral up the shaft. Okay, yeah, alright. It's a tin bucket. Hey, Jumpy. You remember back in elementary school when you spilled all of our paint across the whole classroom? And I had to clean it up and gave you a sponge out of a bucket like this? Hey, come on now, can't we just leave the past in the past? Let's see. I already checked all 3 toilets, you know. Nothing unusual there. You don't have the answers to this yet, definitely. It's a thermometer. You get it off? No. It's screwed onto the wall. Wooden box. Something in here. Luminol. Okay, so this reveals stuff about blood. hell is this thing? Some kind of spray bottle? Something written. There's something written on it. I just realized, I think the first guy who died said this wasn't part of the plan because he figured out he didn't have enough people to actually survive by using the dead. That could be it, definitely, but I think it's more that he expected a way out from Zero but didn't get it, which is why he was like freaking out that it didn't work. Huh. Let me see that. Just grabbed it from him. Wasn't very nice. Oh, this is luminol. You know, forensics guys used it at crime scenes. Oh yeah, that stuff that glows blue when you spray it on blood. Even if the blood's been wiped off, it'll still glow. In that case, we can spray this on the blood on the wall that's older. Wait, you don't really think we're supposed to use the luminol here, do you? Yeah, it does seem kind of weird to use it here. Maybe I should try just in case. Okay, I've sprayed the luminol on the wall. What's next? Oh, we gotta turn out the lights. So LLR, LRL... Huh? Okay. Actually, we probably should examine that first. It's a good thought, Junpei. Some more letters showing up after the LLR. See? It says LLR, LRL. Hey, Alfarius. Welcome to the stream, how you doing? It could stand for Little Rat. Maybe. Little rat, little. Oh, hey, what's this? Oh! Nope. There. L. R. L. R. L. I did what it said in the wall. I wonder if it actually did anything. Hey, this drain's acting up. What the hell did you do? I just messed with these valves a little. Nothing big. Maybe it will change the thermostat, or the thermometer. Screw, so I needed like a, wait, the drain has been acting up. Not, oh, here. Trumpy, the cart is floating! Looks like the water floated the cart up out of the drain. Blue cart is floating in the water. Grab it! Must be water flowing through the pipe on the right. There's water pouring out of the drain. I got it, yeah. Get the card. We got the key card at least. Oh, hey, the blue light just came on. Okay, so that's one thing, but we also need the code. Toilet paper. Oh, hold on. Toilet paper with some kind of red symbols on it. Think maybe that's Skytail cipher? Skytail cipher? What the hell's that? You have a piece of paper around a stick, then write several sentences on it so that way the whole paper's filled up. Then you unwrap the paper and you can't tell what the original message was, right? Oh, rats. Lick, ratful, linkies. Nothing big, dude, you're implied to be the sister of the Titanic. I said it's massive. That's true, yeah. That's how it works, more or less. And to decipher, you gotta have a stick that's the same diameter as the original one. Oh, like the broom, okay. Same diameter as the original one, huh? Yeah. You just wrap the paper around on that stick and you can read the code. I wrapped the toilet paper around the broom. Oh, so you wrapped the toilet paper around the broom, huh? Yes! Looks like the symbols line up perfectly. It says 634 plus. Something happens when I press the buttons. I guess I have to get the red and blue lights to turn on first. Okay, so we have the code. Now we need a screwdriver. From whence? What do you think this is? It's like the toilet cleaner stuff. Still like a game of telephone, but in reverse with TP. Weirdest decoding ever. It worked, apparently. What do you think this is? It's like tar. Kind of sticky. I don't think we can just wipe it off. Not just pouring some water on it's gonna help much either. What about hot water? Hot water? We had some really hot water, like boiling hot, then maybe that would wash it off. Hey, cool, but where are we gonna get that? The water tank for a toilet. Seen a lot of OC guys try to hide a piece of something like this. Usually for a 187 or something. I think it's clever. I don't know when they'll figure out everyone else thinks it's clever too. I think it's a reference to The Godfather. There was like a gun hidden in the toilet. Huh? I mean, I know peace, but what's an OC? Organized crime. So this guy's like a detective or something. What's that? Like some kind of police slang? Huh? Probably. Huh? I say, why does it look all sad now? It's not really important right now, guys. Let's just check it out, alright? Well, he's not wasting any time. Oh, here we go.
Hey, Junpei, you know why thermometers only go up to 107 degrees Fahrenheit?
Junpei answered without taking his eyes off the screw.
No, I can't say I ever thought about that.
At 107 degrees, the cells in the human body start to die, and the organs begin to shut down. The proteins in your cells start to harden.
Huh.
It's like when you hard-boil an egg.
So it's like when it's like 110 degrees outside in America, people just start dying. Huh.
In other words, it's dead.
Maybe he's either an old cop or he's really deep into true crime podcasts and shows. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Like, I'm not a cop, I'm just a true crime podcaster. And the only crime that I haven't true crime podcasted about is my own. That's why he's on the ship.
That's why thermometers don't go past 107. There's no point.
Why had Santa brought that up? Junpei wondered.
Oh yeah?
He continued to work at the screw.
But it's pretty rare for a fever to get that high. Even viruses and stuff don't usually drive the body temperature up to 107. Of course, there are other external things that could.
Like being set on fire.
Well, let's see. Something like getting locked in a sauna. Or getting thrown into an incinerator and burnt to death.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would get a little hotter than 107 degrees Fahrenheit.
Junpei gave a short, barking laugh. A moment later, the screw fell off. With a small tug, Junpei pulled the thermometer from the wall. Average Floridian seeing 178 degrees. Dude, no wonder my gator died and I'm starting to suffocate from the damn humidity. Pretty much, yeah.
Alright, I got it!
Everyone in Miami just melts instantly. It's like that one video where the guy's like, everyone in McKinney is dead.
Huh? What's up?
Nothing. Forget about it.
Santa spun around and walked off, away from Junpei.
What was that all about?
As Junpei watched him go, he didn't look angry. He looked very, very sad. Oh, you took the thermometer off? It says open at the bottom of the gauge. I wonder what that means. Maybe when it gets that hot, something will open? So we gotta boil water. Nothing in the toilet. If it was, that would be gross. Skinny shelf. Might be something in the tank, you know? Let's open that shit up. Oh, we got the red key card. Okay. Something happens when I press the buttons. I have to get the red and blue lights to turn on first. Huh? Blue light was just on, but it's off now. And the red light's on instead. So we have to swipe the red card first and then the blue card. Oh. Alright. Great job, Jumpy. Both the lights are on now. I just need to put in the password. Lights are on. We should be able to enter the password now. What's with these E and C keys? E means enter and C means clear, I think. So after you put in the password, hit E. Screw it up, hit C. Hmm. 634 plus, that would be 13. Digital root is 4. Nope. Shit. Huh. Maybe missing something. Hold on. Wrong button. Also wrong. Here we go. It said 634 plus. Okay, 634. And then what would plus be in this scenario? Maybe you got cut off by something. 6-3. We could just brute force it again. Alright, 6, 3, 4, 5. Wait, did we even try 6, 3, 4, 4? 6, 3, 4, 6? 6, 3, 4, 7. 6, 3, 4, 8 again? 6, 3, 4, 9. Nope, alright. Still missing something. The digital root calculator, why haven't you used a demonstration? Because, everyone's had Washington State by freezing, and then I asked, how? Don't they have cold resistance or something? They didn't slot in ice resistance. Got both the key cards. I've used both the key cards. I don't need them anymore, but I still have them. I guess the thermometer could be used to help boil water, but I also don't know where we would get boiling water. Like the shower works. Where we came in. It's not locked, but there ain't really any point. All it's out there is the number door. Can't go back to the number door even if we wanted to. Need to mess with that anymore. Already did stuff with the drain. I said I already checked them. What, you don't trust me? Jesus, Junpei, I said I checked them all! The doors of the toilet stalls. That says he already checked them out. Didn't find anything, apparently. The dividing wall that separates the toilets. The turlets. Some toilet paper on this shelf. Okay. Lever on the tank. Nothing happens when I pull it, though. Nothing. Doesn't flush. Probably because the tank's empty, genius. How it's supposed to fill it must be clogged. Well, couldn't you just get some water and pour it straight in there? Oh, yeah, I've got the bucket. I forgot about that. Yeah. There's water flowing at the drain where we found the key card. Damn it. Can I check again? I didn't soft lock myself, did I? Maybe I can use the shower here to fill the bucket with hot water. Hey, Seven, could you turn on the shower? I'm gonna put the bucket under the head. Oh, okay, sure thing. So these showers work, but the other one doesn't. We symbolize a plus sign, that should be it, right? It's probably whatever's under the tar in the toilet. Now I need to combine the thermometer with the water. Never mind, I don't need to do that. That's a dumb idea. So I just pour the water into this tank and looks like you filled it. Now you should be able to flush it, right? Probably a handle somewhere on the tank that you can pull. You think so? Seriously? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now let's flush some hot water. There it goes, just like a toilet should work. Oh, it's 634 plus 185 equals. Let me think. 34 plus 85 is 119. Plus, that's 219. Plus 6 is 819. I think. Fuck. Just to make absolutely sure. No, wait. Damn it. 634 plus 185 equals 819. So the digital root of that would be 9. Yeah. Okay. I think. Hey, Darsters and Zero, welcome to the stream. How you doing? I am playing it for the first time, but I'm working on it. That stuff's washed off. Looks like that writing was numbers. See it? 185 equals? What is this? Yeah, me. Just looks like numbers. Yep. Unless there's another number that I'm missing. Doesn't seem like there is right here, though. What do I use the thermometer for? Thermometer. It says open at the bottom of the gauge. So I need to heat it up to... But I already lost the bucket. Thermometer. What if I need to... Hold on. The dirt we flushed out with the bottom of the bowl. Okay, so clearly I did something wrong. There's no more hot water. I can't flush it anymore. So... Yeah, if I can get this hot water in the thermometer, then maybe... Okay, so this is how I do it. Alright, thermometer, let's get this party started. Yep, looks like that's doing the trick. There goes the gauge. And now it's at the open mark. Uh-huh. It opened. What's this? Looks like there's a piece of paper in here. Okay, so it's actually 957 plus 634 plus 185. Okay. Wait, it's 957. Okay, yeah. Wrong button. 957 plus 634 plus 185 equals 1776. Okay. In 1776, Columbus sailed across the ocean bricks. Okay. There we go. And there's a zombie on the other side. You found it! Novasimo, we did it! Outside of the shower room was a hallway that extended off to the left and right.
There's a large iron door at the end.
And this is how we loop back into the main room, and then this goes somewhere else.
Let's take a look.
They moved a few steps toward the door when Junpei heard the sound of metal on metal.
Huh?
They turned around. Seven was doing something to the door of the shower room.
What are you doing, Seven?
Well, I figure maybe we might want to come back here sometime. So, I stuck the broom in there to keep the door from shutting.
Oh, right, they mentioned that when they did that in the other route. Okay, yeah. This game needs more confetti in the celebration screen. Yeah, it's like, especially like if it was like really low quality confetti where it's just like the green screen is still visible. It's like, you know, it does like the little confetti sound, like a trumpet. But like not a good one. With that, he stood up and began to walk down the hallway. He brushed past Junpei and kept going. After a moment, the rest of them followed him. Before long, they found themselves at the large iron door. They had only been there for a moment when June spoke up.
Jumpy, look!
It's the same door for the hospital room. He turned. There, on the right side of the hallway, was a piece of paper attached to the wall.
What's up?
What's that on the wall there?
Oh, I think it's...
Junpei ran over and peeled it off. It's a map.
A map of the ship's interior?
It says sea
This
deck.
is the bedroom. This is probably... Okay, let me put this together, right? This is door number 3, I think. No, wait, this is the... Oh, this is the one in the hallway, right? This is door number 3. This is the shower room, which is why we are now in door number 3. This leads back here. That way we can get everyone on the way to here. It says C deck.
So it's the map for this floor, then. We'll have time to study it later. Let's keep going for now.
Junpei folded the map and stuffed it into his pocket. Actually, I can do you one better. Poorly green screen party popper emojis for the celebration. That would be great, yeah. Back at the door, the 4 of them lined up in front of it. Santa stepped forward. He grabbed hold of the door and then turned to look back at the rest of them.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
If they felt the course of the ship, then they would know that that's the door that leads back to where they are. They nodded. Santa nodded back and threw the door open. All 4 of them leapt through. Why?
What the?
You're shitting me.
It took only a moment for them to realize where they were.
We're back.
Back to the past, Samurai Jack. They had been there only a short time ago. Hold on, was there a key in the last... No, there was no key in this event, I guess. So whatever it is that's here, I do not... Or I guess I haven't found whatever's in this route yet. That also means that whatever was this door, or this choice, which I'm not entirely sure what it was, it leads also to this. So I could have just gone back here and done that. But, Is Lotus or Clover dead now? That's a good question, actually. It was the large hospital room filled with countless beds. Lotus and Clover looked up as they entered. Ace was there as well, although he looked as though he'd only just woken up.
Clover! Lotus! And Ace! I'm glad you're all okay. Lotus? What are you...
Uh-oh. The moment they spotted Junpei, Lotus and Clover headed straight for him. Yeah, see, dude, this is why you didn't want to do that. We could have had it be like a fun thing of like, oh, we're gonna reunite with you guys once we find a way back. And then it's like, oh, we'll find you. Instead, it was like, fuck you all, I'm leaving. As she neared him, Lotus drew back her hand and, yep, this does not surprise me. Slapped him, open-palmed, across the face.
How could you do this to us?
We did come back, but I do understand her anger at this point. Her face was furious. He grabbed Junpei by the collar and shook him violently. Clover didn't touch him, but the hate in her eyes was no less potent. It was Seven who stopped them.
Knock it off. We got bigger shit to worry about right now.
I do appreciate that Seven is kind of like the guy who keeps his head focused on the task at hand. But Junpei was pretty fucked up for doing that. With, like, he didn't even intend to come back afterwards. That's the problem. Very reasonable crash out, yeah. No, I agree. His deep voice echoed across the massive room. Lotus glared at Seven, but let Junpei go after one last vicious shake.
What?
Go after one last vicious shake.
Go have a look. I stuck the screwdriver in the door. That door over there, the one without a number. As long as the screwdriver's there, it can't shut, so you can get in there. There's a shower room past there. I stuck a broom at the door there too. Anyway.
Yeah, Clover probably does need to at least find out what happened to her
Go
brother.
in there without passing through the numbered door?
Yeah, that's about the size of it.
Wait, what the hell is in there?
You'll know when you see it.
I'm not sure if this will lead to a good ending or an awful ending. I just know it's going to lead to a different ending. She's carrying the group on her ass and nearly gets betrayed. Yeah, she was doing a lot, but at the same time, she's also the only one who really proposed leaving people behind. So, she has a little bit of a bad rap from that. Granted, realistic, but, you know,
Fine, let's go.
no one wants to hear that they need to leave people behind. Lotus and Clover looked back at one another for a moment, and then nodded and stepped through the door. Also, she did leave us in a freezer for a little bit, when she could have just opened the door for us or helped us with that. She had to do a little more than just open the door, but still, you know, it's stuff. By then, Ace had made his way to them, moving with the stiff, shuffling steps of someone who had only just awoken from a lengthy slumber. Snake and Clover are siblings? Yeah, they brought that up a little bit earlier on, and it was like, what? You don't even look alike! And they were like, well, we're siblings, so that's all we know about that right now.
My goodness. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head weakly.
Should I go as well?
Yeah.
We should all go. There's no reason not to. Seven nodded.
Very well.
Ace followed Lotus and Clover with his stiff, tired gait. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. Hold up. It made his teeth curl? It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if even a nudge would cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces. Wonder if people are considering a live-action remake of this game. I imagine how poorly that goes since the game is very open-ended in roots. It would be interesting to see how it goes, but I don't think this game really needs a remake for the most part. Ow, my ancestors and my dentist felt that. Junpei, you dick! Your accurate descriptions hurt! Like,
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the Ninth Man was.
Seven lowered his voice, likely enough to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room with Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each one of them in turn and continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3.
Yeah.
Then they shoved him into it. Alone.
On door 3. We already saw this part in the other route.
Once that, he probably, it was a small. Unfortunately, the detonator is Snake was the, and then 81. That happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh?
But what combination would have led to that? Because functionally, the door wouldn't have opened if it was just Ace, so it couldn't have been him. It would have had to be numbers that equal up to 10, probably. So it could have been Santa and... Or, let me put it like this. It would have to be either 10 or 19 in total for the other numbers. For them to hit... We know Junpei wasn't a part of it, so there's that. Can't use 5. Can't use 9 either. So it would have to be either 7 and Santa. It can't be Lotus unless there were more people to bring it up to 19. And... I don't know. There's a whole bunch of people it could be.
You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Exactly.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Yeah, this guy probably is some kind of, like, law enforcement dude.
Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
then that means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
That's true, but unless they, completely misdirected us from what Junpei was saying, it probably isn't Junpei.
Yeah.
As one of them.
That means anybody could be a killer.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about?
June seemed shocked.
Can you say that so casually? You're implying that one of us is a killer.
No, he's implying that two of us are killers.
Well, not just one of us. If I'm right, then at least two of us are murderers.
Why don't you calm down a bit, Seven? What are you going to gain by being so suspicious? That's what Zero wants, you know?
What Zero wants?
Exactly. This game was set up by Zero, wasn't it?
And this is basically the same scene as what happened last time. Actually, wait, is this the same... No, this is technically a different scene. But, either way. Maybe he's part of an old special investigation unit and now he's stuck here in case Lotus dies so that there's at least one other intelligent person. Could certainly be it.
Any game has a... Whoever makes it through door 9 is a winner. Zero is trying to make us fight against one another for that victory.
I agree.
Then you're saying that Zero is trying to split us up by making us fight each other?
Yes. That is why we can't let ourselves fall prey to suspicion. We have to trust one another and form a strong bond of friendship. Otherwise, we'll end up ensnared by Zero's manipulations.
Then does that mean that the person who killed Snake...
Yes. Almost certainly Zero himself. If there's any
Probably, but...
doubt, it should be Zero. He masterminded this game and kidnapped all of us. Doesn't it seem reasonable that he would have killed Snake as well?
I don't know.
Good question.
Maybe I hadn't really considered that.
Snake, then Zero is on the ship with us.
They're still on the ship with them? I did say the other thing, but at the same time, this doesn't seem to be a choice that will actually affect where I go, so I might as well just go with wasn't sure. Wasn't sure.
Something's still strange. Well, I'm just wondering about one thing.
We get a new option that'll either give us a new ending or send us into 3 other possibilities. That's true, yeah.
And what's that?
How can you be so sure that Zero's on this ship?
Ace's eyebrows shot up.
Really, Junpei? I confess I'm a little disappointed. Usually you're rather sharp. Isn't it obvious?
I'm not that sharp, let's be real here.
Wait, it is?
This ship.
Huh?
Zero said, this ship, several times when he addressed us.
Well, yeah, but it could have just been a ploy.
If he weren't here, he wouldn't say this ship, would he?
That feels like a very easy thing to trick, though. That I don't think that's as much of a gotcha as you think it is.
He'd be saying something like, that ship, or the ship.
Well, unless he was trying to trick us, which he kind of is.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Whatever. Well, let's just operate under that assumption. Ace's explanation made perfect sense. Junpei felt a little foolish that he hadn't seen it himself. Still, he was left with a question, and it was one of no small
If
importance.
Zero's on the ship, where is he?
Suddenly, everyone went very quiet. Silence was cold and clammy. Junpei could feel it crawling back to his throat. Another ghost and human appeared. It was Clover. She looked at the floor as she spoke.
I think Zero is one of us.
Okay, yeah, this is where that happened. Sound effects. Her human body froze. Da-da-da. Was he one of them? That's crazy.
That's crazy. Isn't this ship going to sink in a few hours? If Zero was here with us, he'd be putting himself in danger. Why the hell would he do something like that?
So he could have said that if he fucking captained this ship, saying that ship would be completely misleading if not incorrect. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Anything he said could be misleading. The problem is we're taking his words at, like, face value, and we're not thinking that he might have just said things to throw us off. It is entirely possible that he's not on the ship. He doesn't have to be honest with us. Completely. Then again, I guess it does kind of hurt the case if he isn't honest with us, because the whole thing is that he is giving us the rules that we have to follow, so theoretically he should be telling the truth as well. So I guess we can assume that he is telling the truth.
There's no motive.
Clover looked up at Junpei and her face fell.
You don't believe me.
Her eyes were so pitiful. The moment Junpei met them, he felt his heart tighten. He didn't think what he said was wrong. But perhaps the way he'd said it he'd been too insensitive. Clover had just lost her brother. His death would have been bad enough, but she'd also seen the blasted wreck of his body. Yeah, why did they show Clover that instead of just telling her that he was dead? Junpei barely knew him, and the sight had been enough to make him sick. Clover had felt, couldn't begin to imagine. In the mental state she must have been in, it was understandable that she would look at those around her with suspicion. She felt everyone was against her. The least Junpei could have done was trying to understand what she was feeling. He felt ashamed of what he'd said. Perhaps he thought, I should apologize. But before that apology could begin...
Clover, I understand what you're feeling. You don't feel...
He said they can't interfere with the game, trial is part of the rules, right? So he can lie as much as he wants as long as it doesn't go against his own rules. That is true. That is another thing, like... I think this is another case of us just having so many different possibilities, it's difficult to determine exactly what could be the thing right now. Ace had beaten Junpei to the punch. As he spoke to Clover, his face was calm and friendly.
But you have to understand, the more we distrust one another, the further we fall into our true foe's trap. Zero was the one who did those horrible things to your brother. Do you want to let yourself be manipulated by someone who would do such a horrible thing?
Clover didn't answer. She didn't even look at Ace. The whole time, her eyes were on Junpei. He could feel Clover's eyes boring into him. They were the color of a deep winter lake. Junpei saw no suspicion in them, only sadness. Then, in that horrible silence... Oh, right. They heard a bell begin to ring. It was the clock at the central staircase.
It's 3 in the morning.
That means we have 3 hours left.
Then we need to move now. 7. Clover.
Though I gotta be honest, I don't think the killer of Snake would be Lotus, unless the killer of Lotus was Clover.
I know how you feel, but you do understand that right now it's important we trust one another, don't you?
Honestly, I haven't entirely thought that Ace is unlikely, but I don't know. In situations like these, I feel like you gotta look for the ones who take control of the situation. So him, I don't really have 7 pegged as a killer, so maybe it's like a thing, but I don't know. I don't think he gives off the vibe, you know? 7 and Clover remained silent. Their eyes were looking at something somewhere else, very far away.
We must go. We have very little time left.
Ace's words put their feet to moving. They all knew where they were going.
Our next destination is Mercury.
We're gonna need a rocket ship. But when would Clover have been a witness to Clover committing the crime? Even then, you have to account for the copious amounts of blood as well. I think it's possible it could be Clover because even if she doesn't know that who killed her brother, she would just assume that it could be Lotus. Or it could just be someone trying to get off the ship, hence why they took the bracelets. Really, it could be anything. Until we find out who the killer is, we don't know. Here we go. I stood in front of the elevators next to the stairs that led to the casino and the kitchen. Between the 2 elevators was a card reader with the Mercury symbol engraved on it. Junpei stood in front of it with the Mercury keycard.
Oh, that's the...
Yeah, I found it in the shower room.
Oh, I see. It's got the Mercury symbol.
I don't remember if we went here last time. He took a deep breath and slid the card through the reader. It made a small beep, and the lights turned on and the reader blinked to life.
Now we can go.
7 people, including Junpei, climbed onto the elevator.
Looks like there's only 2 floor buttons working.
C and bottom.
The rest were destroyed or did nothing when
Time
pushed.
to head down then.
So we're going back to the bottom, but will this lead to the same place? That's the question. Door closed. Slowly, they began to move downward. Sometime later, all 7 of them stepped off the elevator and onto the bottom deck. They stepped off and saw that the hallway to their right ended somewhere between 20 and 25 feet from them. The hallway in front of them was a dead end, but not a regular dead end.
This is a numbered door.
That's odd. There has to be some difference between here and here that would only lead to one path. Well, the murderer has to be someone clearly stronger or at least faster than Lotus, right? Assuming someone that would easily catch Lotus off guard. I think it would have to be... I think as long as it's someone who just was able to corner her, or maybe take her by surprise, like you said, that would have to do it, but... Again, there are so many variables here that it could be basically any of them other than June, Junpei, and then Lotus herself.
Yeah, it's door 2.
Immediately, they began to discuss who would go through it.
So who should go through the door this time?
We don't need to be discussing who we're leaving behind this time, right?
Right.
It'll probably loop
Set up
back.
so we'll be able to meet up again once we get through the numbered doors.
Then there's no need for arguments at this point.
We should figure out who's going in first.
Very well. Would anyone like to volunteer?
I'll do it.
Sure. The first to speak up was 7.
I'll go too.
And I suppose I need to go too then.
And now I got these 3. Junpei followed suit, which meant Lotus was, by default, the 3rd member. 5 plus 7, 8 is 20, 2 plus 0 is 2, yep, but... I'm surprised that some of the flooded floors hadn't been completely burned from the electricity, since the plugs here aren't the type to stop when water starts flowing into it, like the ones we have now. That's true, though it is possible the ship has been modified, like with the Reds and whatnot.
Alright, we're taking off.
Okay, please be careful.
Jesus. You 2 are acting like you're married, you know that?
Just let him have it, dude. June blushed. So did Junpei.
Don't be silly. Cut it out.
Dude, you fumble! Fumble! Perhaps in an attempt to hide his emotions, he quickly turned away to pull the lever on the red. The door opened. As they'd come to expect, there appeared to be a short hallway on the other side.
Alright, let's go.
Lotus was the first through the door.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Alright, 7 was next, and then Junpei brought up the rear.
Where the hell is it this time?
Oh, that got so intense so fast. Alright, yep. Where the hell is it this time? Sure.
I don't see it!
There it is! It's right there!
Fortunately, it took them only moments to find the dead. It had been placed just inside the room, right next to the numbered door. They gathered around it and quickly scanned each of their bracelets.
Ugh, it stopped.
Yeah, it stopped.
Junpei could feel his heart pounding against the inside of his ribs. 7 and Lotus were breathing hard and fast.
Man, I'll never get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd also prefer that.
Alright,
Junpei looked around again.
this hallway's pretty short, but it's got 5 doors. 3 on the left, and only 1 on the right.
Okay, so this must have been that thing where they lost Clover, but... Actually, wait, that's impossible, because they couldn't have gotten Clover in with the same number, so... Yeah, whatever.
Don't forget the last one at the end of the hall.
But it's got a metal plate over it, so I doubt we're gonna get anywhere that way.
So taking a look around the room himself, Seven spoke.
Alright, let's get started. I think we'd probably better split up. You two okay with that?
Yes, no problem.
Sure thing.
Then I'll take this first one.
Seven nodded to them and stepped into the room closest to him.
I'll try the one next to it.
At last, Junpei was left alone. What would happen if the final door doesn't have a dead and they're forced to die? Wouldn't that make Zero a hypocrite of him not tampering with the participants? All he said was that the door leads to the end, like escaping the ship. He didn't say that escaping the ship would have them survive necessarily, though I would say that would make him kinda... I feel like that would erase the point of the game. At last, Junpei was left alone.
Well, I guess I'd better get started too.
He looked intently at the remaining 3 doors. Emergence! Okay, this is a bit of an odd escape room. There's only a hallway. Let's see. Flow... Okay, so now we're here. We would have gotten here anyway by going through the second door, which I'm guessing is what this scene is. So, basically we're on track to whatever ending this is. Interesting. Okay, let's see with this door. Alright, we've got a blue thingy. The hell's this supposed to be? Like a drawing of a whirlpool or something? Well, if I had to guess, I'd say it's trying to look like water. The little tile in the drain. Doesn't look like we're gonna be able to pull it out of there. I have to use our heads in this one. Alright, let's figure this thing out. Okay. There's a dirty blanket on the bed. This is a mess. Not even a bed anymore. Can't say I'd want to sleep there. Something under the bed. Okay, got a sun symbol. Symbol on a toilet lid, huh? A little fishy to me. It's a sun symbol, but it doesn't look like the other one, like the ones in the doors. This looks like a toilet. The old school toilet. That makes sense, though. Chip seems pretty old, too. No toilet paper roll. Man, this place is hell. Zero's the type of guy to trap a group of people on a sinking ship and give 6 hours to them. I think it was 9 hours, but, I don't think there's much of a point to begin with. That is true. It's entirely possible he just did it for, like, shits and giggles. Toilet paper tube, huh? Seriously doubt I'm gonna need this for anything. This part is thinner than the rest. In fact, this doesn't even look like it's part of the rest of this thing. This rod feels loose. Maybe if I give it a couple turns... There we go. Oh hey, screwdriver shaft. Now we need the handle. This handle's pretty loose. Oh! Loose. Think it'll come off if you pull on it? There we go. Fell off. Huh. Look at this. That handle doesn't really fit on the string. Maybe it wasn't meant to be attached to it. Oh, well, here we go. If I just stick this metal rod into the handle... Now we have a screwdriver. Does that mean we always have to turn it, like, counterclockwise to the way it's screwed into the handle? Taking the handle off and the string's just hanging there. Sun symbol. Okay, so... Looks pretty nasty. Don't touch it. There's more stuff out there in the world than a gross toilet. You're a real deep thinker, aren't you? Alright, so that doesn't really change anything in here, but... Oh, hey! What's in this? Okay, so this is what that's for. What the hell? It's not opening. Something up with this drawer. I don't trust it. Sweet, got the screws off. Now we can open the drawer. Nothing in here. Maybe the drawer is what we need. Drawer, huh? Alright, let's yank the thing out. Okay, what's this? The bump on the back. What it's for. Maybe there's a hole somewhere and these bumps line up with it and trigger a hidden switch or something. Wish there was a Zero extra where you got a side game that got to actually know more about him and what sets up the game. We could learn that in this game. It's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that we, maybe the last route, that secret route, is, like, revealing who Zero is and why. Hey, we've seen weirder stuff. It seemed that far-fetched. Okay, so we are out of here. That was the first room, so... Okay, this one has a river sort of thing. We made some wavy blue lines on the mirrors in blue paint. Is that a drawing of a blue scarf? No, maybe not. This drain is kind of a weird shape for a drain. Think that they made that shape for a reason? Or just for fun? It's not there. How about this? It's a moon, alright. Moon river, wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style someday. Shit. This toilet is disgusting. You don't expect me to touch that thing, do you? You want me to? You want to? Then I'll do it, alright? It's hanging from the wall. Well, if we're pulling the string, it must be a toilet that flushes. Okay, what about the bed? Okay, here we go. A towel. Well, looks like a towel. I have to wonder if the design means anything, though. Maybe you should consider what the design might be. Perhaps that'll give us a hint? Looks just like part of the design of the towel. You think that means anything? On the towel, it looks like the water is flowing from the river to the spring. You think that means we need to make water flow from here? No knob on this faucet. No way we can get the water out of it like this. The square hole is more than the simple, strange-looking drain, Junpei. You're so uncultured. That's right, the water goes in the square hole. We can find a knob or something that... If we can find a knob or something that works as one, we should be able to get the water to come out of this thing. What the screwdriver? Never mind. Okay. Oh, hey. There's nothing on the drawer. Yeah, something's not right, though. The handle on the drawer doesn't really fit, you know? It just looks messy. Why don't you take it out? There's a mirror on the other side of this drawer. Interesting. Kind of an odd shape, and it looks like someone attached the handle with a screw after the fact. Oh, okay. If I use the screwdriver on the screw in the center of the handle, maybe I can... There we go, and that also gets rid of the screwdriver. Alright. Sweet! The handle I got off that drawer fits onto the faucet perfectly. Now I can turn the water on. Junpei, what are you doing? Pretty obvious, isn't it? I'm running the water. You can see that. I'm asking why you're just letting it run like that. Think about it, Lotus. This faucet didn't have a knob when we found it, right? What do you mean? Just watch. Any time now. Hey, water's filling up. Doesn't that just mean the pipes are clogged? Whoops, let's turn it off for now. So, did anything change? Water stopped flowing. Well, thank you, Mr. Obvious. Junpei, I'm leaving this one to you, alright? Okay, let's go back to the other room then. And now we got this. So we've got this tile. We got this tile, and it's got these red, blue, and gray lines. What the heck does this stuff mean? Well, if I know. Maybe put the wet tile into his pocket. He was about to turn away when there was a noise behind him.
What the?
He spun around to see Seven kneeling on the floor. His face was rigid and pale. Droplets of sweat covered his forehead.
Hey, what's going on? Are you okay, man? You're sweating like crazy. Are you alright?
Ugh. He was concerned. Never seen Seven like this before. Slowly, the other man lifted himself to his feet on shaky legs. It's been a pretty intense headache.
I'm fine. Just got a little dizzy, that's all.
His face was pale and his breathing was heavy. Sweat was pouring off his face and staining his shirt.
That's definitely more than just a little dizzy. Are you sure? You don't look so good.
Seven didn't answer. Half of his face was twisted as if distorted by extreme pain. His eyes were glazed. Finally, he spoke.
What am I doing here?
Oh, right, he has amnesia. Forgot about that.
Huh?
His words made no sense.
What are you talking about? We opened the number 2 door and walked in here. Don't tell me you forgot.
Potential migraines, hot flashes, unknown illness? I think it might be amnesia. They brought that up once or twice, I think.
No, that's not what I mean.
He shook his head several times as if trying to clear something from it.
It ain't much, but I think some of my memories came back.
I drank from a toilet.
I think I've been here before.
Huh?
Huh?
I said I've been in this room before.
You were here? When? Why?
Aoi. Lion. Nona.
What? Suddenly, Seven was mumbling to himself. They were words that Junpei didn't understand. Seven's hoarse voice trailed off, and Junpei couldn't make out what he said.
What the hell was that?
Seven's brow furrowed furiously, and he ground his teeth back and forth.
It's right there. I feel like I'm this close to remembering everything, but I just can't.
Seven stopped, frustrated. Either that or he's got dementia. It could be. That's rather unexpected. No wonder he's been so knowledgeable about this. Exactly. Maybe he's done this before. Maybe, like, Zero erases memories from last time and he won previously. Then suddenly he looked up, his eyes wide.
That's right, an experiment. There was some kind of experiment going on this ship.
An experiment? What sort of experiment?
They were trying to control people.
That would explain that other lab with all the, like, the things hooked up to the dummy.
Or something like that.
What the hell are you talking about?
Junpei didn't know what to make of Seven's story. Instead, he simply stared as Seven continued.
Aoi, Light, and Nona. Those were their names. Well, some of them. The kids that were in the experiment, I mean. I think there were 4 or 5 more, but I don't remember all their names. Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm here.
Seven began to mumble to himself and wander aimlessly about the room. So Zero's using everyone to test subjects as their experiments? Or it could be that he was a test subject that escaped, and everyone else here is either one of the former test subjects, or they were a part of it somehow. He looked confused. So far as Junpei could tell, the man was simply rambling, and there were odd twitches to his movements.
Experiment. Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Umbrella.
Those kidnapped kids. Was I working that case?
Oh, he was the detective on the case. Seven continued to mumble to himself about things that meant nothing to Junpei.
Huh?
Junpei didn't have any answers for him, of course. He couldn't understand what was happening to Seven. All he could do was wait. After a few minutes, Seven finally stopped.
Wait, under this bed.
He crouched down and looked under the bed. His face registered mild surprise, and he began to mumble to himself again.
The home's gone?
Huh?
No, maybe it was a different room. There's gotta be a ton of rooms on this boat that look just like this one.
At last, Junpei could contain himself no longer.
Hey, what exactly do you remember?
Okay, so I'm guessing one of them Shawshanked their way out of the room.
Maybe you could stop talking like a crazy person and tell me what's going on here.
Junpei, just let him operate and follow him around, I guess. Seven stood up slowly.
Well, it's not like I really remember everything.
He was an investigator that got kidnapped by Zero twice. That means he could know Zero's identity, but can't remember enough to piece it together. I'm not sure if it's twice. At the very least, he was in a place exactly like this. And that might have happened the first time, and then he got knocked out and taken to this game to keep him quiet.
I've only got bits and pieces, and they're scattered and don't make much sense.
So potentially, he's a way off the ship through a secret method. Maybe.
I don't care. Tell me the bits and pieces then.
Junpei could feel it. Whatever Seven had remembered, it was important. Very important.
Okay.
Seven drew a large, muscled hand down across his face. As he wiped the sweat from his brow, he spoke.
From what I can remember, I think I was a cop.
Yeah, figured.
Yeah. I was looking for that group of kids that got kidnapped 9 years ago. You remember that, right? It was all over the news.
Yeah, I was still in school.
9 years ago?
I don't remember all the details, but I do remember some of it. I think it was a bunch of kids right around my age. They all just disappeared. Nobody knew why.
But it's 16 boys and girls. The root number of that is 7, which would be interesting because that's his number, but... Huh.
It was all over TV and the newspapers every day. So you're saying you were investigating it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. I guess I found something. There was this medical company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals that had something to do with those kids.
What is happening? Maybe they're not even on a ship, they're on some facility built like a ship. That's entirely possible. We don't know... I don't think we've actually seen outside. We just know that whatever we are in is flooding. It could very well be a building that happens to be, like, watertight just to get some answers out of people.
After I figured that out, I managed to get some information out of somebody who worked for them.
Maybe everyone here is someone who is, like, a part of this case somehow, and Zero is someone trying to find justice for it, so they trapped us all here in the hopes that someone would come clean about it.
I think it was... Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore. Yeah, that had to been it. That's why I went to the wharf. In the shadows, I searched the harbor until I found the ship he was talking about. There was a bunch of movement near it. Men in black suits, many of them carrying large bags.
So I'm guessing that was all of us, and then he got knocked out.
Bags. There was something about the way they moved as they were carried. No doubt about it. There were human beings in those bags. I moved before I realized it.
8 guys, 8 girls, supposedly. Why would he need that specific amount of people? I'm not sure if Zero's the one who took them. It could have been a separate thing that just also happened to do this, and Zero's trying to remake the events of it to do something? I don't know. It could also be, I guess, there are somehow 16 people on this ship, but we just don't know where the other 7 are, but I don't know.
Don't move. I felt metal touch the back of my head. Drop the gun. He kept digging the cold metal thing into my skull. There was nothing I could do. Did what he said and laid my gun on the ground. Then suddenly...
And he got
pain
whacked.
in my neck. A needle.
Ah.
A drug? That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I was out like a light after that.
So they gave him some kind of knockout thing, and then... Then he woke up here.
Woke up on a hard floor. Damn it. Shit, my head hurts. Where am I?
So this all happened before the Zero thing, I think. Because he's
Small
also
shabby
wearing
bed,
different
a
clothes.
dirty sink. A toilet with no privacy. I'd seen it countless times as a cop. I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over to it. I pushed and pulled on it, but... It won't open. Not like I expected much else. Would be dumb enough to put me in a cell and leave it unlocked. Threw myself against the door a few times, but it wouldn't budge. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed, and sat down. I sat there for a very, very long time. Who knows how long.
So 72 is a victim of circumstances. That's strange. Why not just kill him? Maybe they thought they'd experiment on him too? Because all 7 current scars, missing got slashed by something or someone else. It could also be that this just was years and years prior to this, because they said this happened 9 years ago. So it could have been that that happened in between now and then.
Then, I heard a faint voice. The voice was far
9.
away. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I could hear one. It was pretty high, probably a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was several.
Hmm.
I hear 5, or 6, maybe more.
Maybe 9?
Where? Where are they coming from? I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through it. No, that's not it. Left. It's coming from under the bed? I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing over. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by a metal grate.
Yeah, but he definitely can't fit through it.
I dropped flat on the floor and peered through the grate. I couldn't see shit.
9 years is an odd specification, especially if the others can't remember how long it's been since they were kidnapped when they arrived. I don't know, I feel like all of them would remember aging 9 years between when they last remembered and when they woke up on the ship. I'm pretty sure this is just something that happened way back before, and this was designed like this, I guess, because Zero wanted to make him remember this.
But I knew it in my gut. This was where those voices were coming from. Hold up. Why are there kids here? But then what my inside man told me popped into my head.
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked offshore.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Am I on that ship? It didn't matter. All I knew was I had to get to those kids. I checked out the metal grate. Could I fit?
Fuck no.
I stuck my fingers in and grabbed it. And
Now we could certainly take off the thing.
Yeah! How do you like that, you son of a bitch? I finally got the
But
damn
yeah,
thing
there's
off.
no way he's gonna fit in there.
Sweat was dripping down my face, so I wiped it off and crawled inside.
Bro, what? Is this man like a cat? He can just fit his head through anything he can fit his body through? Junpei waited for 7 to resume his story. Bro, you built like 30 football players in a fridge tied together. Exactly! Of course he can't fit! Junpei waited for 7 to resume his story. The longer he waited, however, the clearer it became that 7 had no intention of doing so. He had gone silent and simply stared off into the air, his eyes blank.
Hey, what happened after that?
He'd waited long enough. But 7 shook his head.
I don't remember what happens after that. I think I found some kind of door out of the duct. And I think I found some kids, too. Not good. Why can't I remember what happened next?
Ah, man, what happened to the kids, 7?
What if Junpei's so trying to like ask because he's Zero and he just wants to know?
Did you save them?
I don't know. I don't know if it was me. I've got this feeling. I think one of the kids died.
Huh.
A girl, I think.
Huh?
Deep in his heart, Junpei felt something very cold. 7's head dropped, and Junpei saw in a look of sadness the likes of which he had never seen on the man before. The large man's eyes blinked rapidly, as if he were fighting back tears, and he swallowed hard. His sigh was like the melancholy setting of an old abandoned building. That's fucking strange, he's like a snake. Exactly, panic doesn't help with memory loss. And they don't need to know it urgently, they just need to know it eventually. He shook his head and spoke.
Anyway, just please don't ask me anymore, okay? I really don't remember anything else.
After that, Junpei could hardly try to force any answers out of the other man.
It's fine. Don't push yourself.
Going by what he said,
Junpei left 7 to pull himself together and instead began thinking everything over.
the children who had been kidnapped 9 years before, apparently a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals had been behind it all.
Well, yeah, we got that.
They'd taken the children to the same ship we're on now. They'd been brought here for an experiment. Seven said it had something to do with controlling human beings. The 16 children who had been kidnapped were the subjects. Seven had said 3 of their names were Aoi, Light, and Nona. I think that's all I got. Oh, and
one of them is from Death Note.
Or was at some point a cop.
Well, that I figured.
I can't really use any of this information anyway. I didn't learn anything about the Nonary game or Zero.
Oh wait, Nonary. There was one there called Nona. That's interesting.
Why were we brought to the same ship where they'd done those experiments?
Maybe it's a red herring, but who knows?
And just what the heck is this about controlling human beings?
And Aoi means blue in Japanese. Huh.
That's nuts. Did they really conduct an experiment like that?
Before long, Junpei realized he had spent quite some time deep in thought.
I don't have time to just stand here thinking. I need to get moving.
Junpei shook his head quickly to clear it and returned to his investigation, thoughts swirling in his mind. Okay, so we got the tile. We haven't even been in the third room. You just barely see a mirror from the light coming through the ceiling. It'd be nice if that mirror was a little lower down. Looks like it's the same height as the mirror on the right. I wonder if that means anything. Let's try to use this. The mirror's hanging the same height on the right. Oh yeah, we can probably use this mirror to reflect the light. I just gotta figure out where to reflect the light. If I go somewhere that's a little easier to shine light on. I shine light on the mirror in the back. Is that a number? Or 7? If I shine the light on this mirror, then I get to see some numbers. I can see a 4 on the left and a 7 on the right. 4 and 7. So if I shine this light on the mirror in the back... Oh, okay, so it's 4 and 7, and then 4 for the sun, 7 for the moon. I get it! If I shine light on the mirror, the symbols appear. Left side is a sun, and the right side is a moon symbol. I'm gonna remember this. Just to make sure. So yeah, 4 is the sun, 7's the moon. Maybe 7 could be the key to the true ending, so the memory is a necessity you needed? That could be it, certainly. It's nice to see the sink lit up, I guess, but all it shows to me is the pipe. There's nothing special about this toilet paper. I don't really think I need to bother shining any light on it. Okay, no, I thought it would be like one of those joke things. Can I not go under the bed? The blanket. Not a really great one, but still. It's nice barely have to see by. I feel like I'm gonna see a ghost here or something. Sink, but there's no light shining on it. Hard to be sure because it's so dark in here, but I don't think there's anything going on with this sink. This faucet is too hard to turn. What the desk? Arrgh! Damn it, no matter how hard I pull on this damn thing, it won't budge. Guess I won't be opening this anytime soon. Doesn't look like it's got a keyhole, and there doesn't seem to be anything stopping it. How the hell am I supposed to open it? Alright, so we've pretty much checked everything we can in this room. Now we need to check the emergency room. Emergence. There are a bunch of tiles on the door that spell out emergence. Emergence. Maybe it means we need to emerge out of here. Emergence probably means to emerge or escape from here. We need to do something with these tiles to open the door? I got it! Yeah, alright. We got a tile. The tiles we found here and the tiles there are the same size. When I touched the tiles on the door, I felt something weird. Huh? You can move these tiles. That means, maybe if you swap the tiles we got with the tile on the wall, something will happen. I suppose now we just need to figure out what these strange designs in the tiles mean. At any rate, we should look for all the tiles that are the same size. You're right. We'll be back here after we've done a thorough search. We can't do it yet. But I already got all the tiles I thought I could get. Oh, and the mirror looks just like part of the design of the towel. The design of the towel is a river and a spring, right? Picture on this mirror is a spring, and it's talking about the water in the sink. Oh, I already got that then. Alright. In that case, let's check under the bed in this room, because we didn't do that, actually. Looks cold. Pretty sure you'd freeze to death in the winter. No kidding. If I tried to sleep here, my skin would dry out in no time. Well, it's not like you're that young anymore. Shouldn't really... Okay, again, she's not that old. I don't know what you're talking about. My, Junpei, aren't you lucky? Seems you'll die before you have a chance to grow old and hideous. Sorry, I'm sorry. You're right. Dry skin is a woman's worst enemy. Bed looks even sadder without the pillow. So, it's still a terrible bed. Never sleep on a bed like that. So yeah, that means 4. Same as the moon symbol we saw in the dark room. Right, there was a number there too, right? Number. That's probably how many times you're supposed to flush. How many times you pull the string. Okay, so 7. This is what the moon symbol was pointing to, huh? I probably made it so that someone wouldn't trigger it by accident. If that's the case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Huh? Did you hear something? I heard a loud flushing noise. No, not that. Maybe this seems to be pretty old. Ew, how the hell can he touch that? It's horrible. It's not like I really got a choice, do I? It's not like I want to. This toilet is vile, and surprisingly Lotus refuses to go anywhere near it. We heard something, but I don't know... Maybe the mirror? Symbol's telling us the water flow from this side. I got that. Is there anything else in here that would have done something? The sun symbol was on the dark room. Yep. And how many times you flush, da-da-da. You're manipulating the room as that string. Dissolve the pulse when triggered by accident. 1, 2, 3, 4. There it is again! It makes some kind of weird sound when I pull on that string. Memories are apparently important and factor from what I learned. June and Junpei have a strange history, 7 slowly piecing things together. Clover and Lotus have a suggested past. It's more like Clover and Snake. But, I don't know, Lotus seems kind of weird in that she seems to be one of the only ones who has no real ties to anyone else. Ace is... I don't know, she and Ace and Santa don't seem to have anything, like, tying them together. And the ninth man also doesn't, so... Same thing happened in the other room. That means... I don't know. I think it's a little suspicious that the other room gave us a hint to figure this one out. You're right. The room next door is just like this one, so that leaves the dark room... Yeah. I mean, we could just pull this thing until... Maybe make the string for the toilet, but I can't get a hold of it. Damn it. It pisses me off that I can see it, but I can't touch it. Oh, okay, hold on. Tab. And then we inspect this thing, 14, and that equals E. So basically, this is the E tile. I think? Bunch of weird lines in this tile thing. I don't get this. I think I can figure this out on my own. This 14 equals E in red. I saw 14 in red somewhere else. Is that something I'm carrying around with me? Yes! I just looked at that! I don't get it. God damn it! 14, yeah. Alright. I'm leaving. Actually, wait, maybe we can unlock the drawer in this room. Oh, there we go. Something else on the desk. Okay. Now I got it. Now we're out. Replace the E's with the tiles. There's still rooms I haven't checked yet. What? What rooms? Door at the back. I wonder where it goes. Thought of that and I tried a couple things, but yeah, same result. Guess 7 wasn't about to do anything. Oh well. What other rooms? There's like 2. I've checked all of them, actually. We have light in the center of the room. We don't need to shine the light hint anymore. Look at the dirty toilet, but it's too dark to tell. 14E. I've got a feeling this is relevant somehow. Yeah, you're right. It is, but... What's a realign the tile thing? I don't get it. Don't think you can figure it out on your own. Damn it. Wait, then what also... I forgot to check. What is this thing? No, not that. This thing. Where would this fit in? That's probably the only other thing I need to, check, is where that would fit in. Maybe I put it in here. This is the only other place I can put it. Sounds like something falling. What was that? Heard it too. Let's open the drawer. Okay, here we are. Now we have all the tiles. Object memory is nice, my brother in Christ. Look at the tile on the lid. Hope we get more flashbacks from 7. I do think we're going to get some more, at least in one of the endings. Okay, well, it looks like we've investigated all the rooms. The only mystery left is that door. Alright, let's crack that mystery then. We got 4 tiles. There's a bunch of tiles that are the same size up on the wall here. If we replace 4 of the tiles on the wall with ones we've got, that should open up the door. Well, there's only one way to find out. There we go. Hey, did you see something unlock? Does that mean we got it? Does that mean we got it? Does that mean we got it right? I assume they casually carry all this around. There's like 2 drawers, 4 tiles, extra puzzle pieces. I just like to imagine we see it from his eyes, but obviously if we saw it from another angle, he'd just be like, have his arms full of like a bunch of like garbage that he's just carrying around. Yes, it looks like it did. 14 hidden on the tile. You convert that to hexadecimal, it's an E. Basically, the E's in emergence are the 14s from the tiles. If we replace it, that gives up the answer. Do you really care why it worked? Let's just get out of here. Yes, let's go. You found it, Novasimo. We did it. They passed through the open door and headed to the next room. Junpei jogged down the short staircase and looked around. Huh. Looks like another escape room.
Oh, what the hell is this
And
place?
this is definitely a human experiment place. Look at the 3-hour point of this stream. I'm surprised you're back 6 to 7 hour streams the past couple days. Yeah, I'm a little shocked too, but I think I am going to call it here. Just because I have been going on kind of a while. We are now in another novel section. Doesn't seem like there are any other keys unlocked. But tell you what, next time I do this, we'll finish up whatever route this is, then we'll try to go in some of the others, because I can't think of anything else that we need to do to beat the game. Maybe it's like a specific number of things we need to do. Alright, well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber Android. My next stream is this week, as for when it is, keep an eye for my schedule tomorrow. Have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And goodbye for now. Yeah, you did a thing from Dora. From Dora. Yeah, that'd be great. Have a lovely morning, day, or evening. And goodbye for now.